Chapter 3468. I didn't know you cared about your family so much, so let's not waste time. I can't tell you. The man was obviously hesitant. That's easy. I'll send your family to hell to reunite. Bitch, if you dare to hurt my family, I'll haunt you even if I become a ghost. The man cursed at Lu Yen angrily. Hee, funny. I wasn't afraid of you when you were alive. Why would I be afraid of you when you're a ghost? Lu Yen turned around and slapped the man so hard that he saw stars before his eyes. You have 10 seconds to tell me who sent you and I'll let you die comfortably. After 10 seconds, even the gods won't be able to save you. Your whole family will be blown up. Then, Lu Yen turned around and glanced at her subordinates. Time him for 10 seconds? Yes, boss. Seeing Lu Yen was serious, the man's expression changed drastically. After hesitating for less than 5 seconds, he gave up. I'll tell you everything, but don't hurt my family. You're a man. Can you stop wasting my time? Lu Yen was impatient. Tell me. Xiao Nan sent me. Xiao Nan? Oh, Xiao Nan gave you the order directly? Lu Yen stared at the man and asked. No, he gave me the order through a middleman. How much money did you get from Xiao Nan? Lu Yen asked. $200,000. Bullshit. Xiao Nan never uses US dollars. Do you think I'm stupid? The man wanted to fool Lu Yen, so he made up a lie, but Lu Yen saw through him. Enraged, Lu Yen raised her hand and shot the man in the ribs. Blood slowly flowed down his ribs. Lu Yen turned around and said to her subordinates, Go and catch his younger brother who's still in school. Cut him into pieces in front of him. No, I beg you, don't touch my brother. I gave you a chance, but you didn't tell me the truth. Lu Yen glanced at the man's face coldly. I told you, it was an order from the emperor. The imperial organization. Lu Yen was slightly surprised. Yes. A week ago, I took a few people with me and received a bounty posted by the emperor on the dark web. The reward was $1 million. We were the closest to the target, so we accepted it. From the beginning to the end, we haven't seen anyone from the emperor's side. We've only contacted them online. To show their sincerity, they sent us a deposit of $100,000. Lu Yen turned on her watch and quickly searched for the account information. Indeed, she saw a transfer of US dollars from a space account to the man's account. What's their mission? Lu Yen asked. Arrest Hua Min, the deputy director of Southside Hospital. Where to? After they caught him, they said that they would send him to the dock and that they would send a boat to pick him up. So, they're not here to kill but to capture, right? Lu Yen continued to ask. Yes. What's the point of capturing him? I didn't say anything about that. We are just idle killers. We don't dare to ask our employers about their motives. Isn't that courting death? Very well, I understand. What about my family? The man seemed to be very worried about his family's safety. Your family won't be in danger. You can go in peace. Then Lu Yen raised her gun and shot the man right between his eyebrows. The man fell to the ground and died without a trace of pain. Xiaoan looked at all of this and was completely shocked. Lu Yen killed someone. She really killed someone, and she didn't look scared at all. Perhaps he was too nervous, so he moved his feet and made a sound. Who's there? Lu Yan's subordinates immediately ran over. And come out. I know you've been following me. Lu Yan's expression was very calm. She had known everything since and had started following her at the nightclub. As for why she allowed An to come and witness everything, it was very simple. She wanted An to know her identity and then give up on her. Chapter 3469. Hearing that their boss knew the man, Lu Yan's subordinates put down their guns. Xiaoan slowly walked out of the darkness. He looked at Lu Yen with complicated emotions in his eyes. I know you've been following me. Then why didn't you expose me? And lowered his head, feeling guilty. It's good for you to see things clearly. Then, will you kill me to keep me quiet? And felt like he had seen Lu Yen kill all the people. Did that mean she was in danger? Would Lu Yen deal with her? You're thinking too much. I kill people as casually and easily as you eat, so I'm not afraid that you'll tell others. As for killing people, first of all, even if you call the police, they can't catch me since I'm a third party. Second of all, no police can catch me, not even the special forces. Lu Yan's words sounded arrogant. This girl in her early 20s dared to talk so arrogantly. Why do you kill people? And had been wanting to ask about Lu Yan's identity for a long time. Because it's my job. I have to make money to eat and survive. You're a killer. And seemed to have guessed Lu Yan's job. A killer? No, it's not that low. Lu Yan shook her head with a smile. You guys can leave now. Lu Yan looked at her subordinates. Yes. A few of his subordinates dragged the body that had just died and then walked out. They left some space for En and Lu Yan to talk. Lu Yan, who are you? Seeing the others leave, and didn't beat around the bush. And do you know about mercenaries? Mercenaries. En's heart skipped a beat and then he nodded. I know. When I was in the army, I heard about the legends of mercenaries. Do you know the best mercenaries in the world? And hesitated for a moment and said slowly, I heard that the strongest mercenary is the 2nd Mississippi. 5 years ago, as soon as she graduated from West Point and entered the mercenary circle, she defeated all the seniors in the mercenary circle and reunited the scattered mercenaries to form a new mercenary group. Ah, you know a lot. Lu Yan chuckled. I used to study this when I was in the army, and I especially like people who are good at fighting, especially close combat. I heard that the 2nd Miss, the Queen of Mercenaries, defeated all the heroes at West Point. When Shaoan talked about his idol, his eyes were sparkling. Even he didn't notice it. Then do you know the real name of the 2nd Miss? Lu Yan looked at him and asked calmly. Shaoan didn't answer, but there seemed to be an answer in his heart. Then, I'll tell you today. The second young lady has another name, Lu Yan. After she finished speaking, she patted En on the shoulder and turned to leave. Shaoan was completely stunned on the spot, as if he had been struck dumb. This information seemed to be too much to digest. There was only one thought left in his mind, and that was the sentence he had just said. The 2nd Miss was Lu Yan. The 2nd Miss was Lu Yan. When Lu Yan came out, her subordinates hurried over. Boss, the body has already been melted by the chemical solution. There are no traces. But can we really trust this kid's words? Does the Emperor really dare to attack us? It's not impossible. Judging from his last expression, he didn't seem to be lying. Go and check the IP address of the account that transferred the money to him and trace it. Yes. Lu Yan turned to another person and said, Find someone to continue pretending to be this guy. Say that you want to deliver the goods and meet them at the dock. Don't let them live when you see them. Yes, boss. At this moment, someone suddenly asked, Boss, should we kill the guy inside? Does he know too much? Chapter 3470. Screw you. Get out of here. Hearing their boss's words, the subordinates didn't dare to say more and drove away. They left a car for Lu Yan. After all, they were in the wilderness. Sitting in the car, Lu Yan honked twice. Only then did Shaoan slowly walk out from inside. Have you digested it? Obviously, Lu Yan was referring to the amount of information contained in her words, and nodded. Although he was still shocked, he could accept the fact. Get in the car. You're taking me back? What else? Are you going to walk back? Lu Yan smiled, and got into the car with a heavy heart. Lu Yan sped all the way back. On the way and wanted to ask something, but he swallowed his words. After all, in this situation, it wasn't good for him to know too much. Thinking back to every time Lu Yan fought and killed people, and always thought this girl was vicious and merciless. But now, he realized that Lu Yan had already shown mercy. Otherwise, how could those people survive? And came from a peasant family and was afraid of being bullied. So he had a martial arts dream since he was young. When he was a few years old, he went to a nearby temple to learn martial arts from some monks who knew martial arts to strengthen his body. Later, he joined the army. Because of his outstanding performance, he was selected as a special force soldier. Later, Suyu retired and he followed Suyu. He admired people who were good at martial arts, and the legends of the mercenary world were what he admired and yearned for the most. In the past, when he was a special forces soldier, when he was on a mission to capture a few outlaws who knew kung fu, he felt a little sympathetic towards them. Later, when he was with Suyu in order to protect Suyu, he did fight often. But when it came to killing people, it seemed to be a distant word. China was a society ruled by law. Killing people had to pay with their lives. Even someone as powerful as Suyu wouldn't do anything illegal. So, he had never thought that one day he would make a friend with such an identity. The legend of the second miss seemed to have spread secretly in the military. Back then, some people said that the second miss might be a man and deliberately used this name to confuse the public so that the Interpol couldn't catch her. There were also some who said that the second miss might be the daughter of a certain head of state. She had learned martial arts since she was young and was now independent. Some people even said that the second miss might be an ugly freak, which was why she rarely showed her face. In short, such a murderous woman naturally had a lot of controversy, and had once fantasized that if he no longer needed to protect Suyu one day, he would go and find the second Mississippi. Then, he would become a free mercenary and live an exciting life. Of course, these were just thoughts. He didn't expect that Lu Yen, a pretty, cute and funny girl, was a famous killer. A weirdo that gave Interpol a headache, made the terrorist Ian depressed, and made many big shots in the mercenary world helpless. And Lu Yen called out to him when they were almost there. The less you know about me, the better. Isn't living the life of an ordinary person a kind of happiness? I know. I won't tell anyone. No, I'm not afraid of you. I'm just worried that you'll be in danger if you know too much. You have to know that the number of enemies I have can line up to Mount Everest. Then Lu Yen stepped on the brakes and stopped the car in front of Seductive Fox. Let's go up. Don't be a wet blanket. Then, Lu Yen opened the car door and went upstairs, and followed behind her. His hand reached into his pocket and there was a roasted sweet potato he had bought for Lu Yen, but he couldn't give it to her. Someone like Lu Yen was like a god to him, an unreachable god. Back in the private room, Huamin immediately waved his hand. Yen, come here. Hurry, your brother-in-law is going to sing. Chapter 3471. Really? President Qin knows how to sing? Amused, Lu Yen immediately sat down beside Huamin. The others were also very happy. Tang Chuan's successful proposal made everyone happy. Meanwhile, Qin Chu was singing the Cantonese version of The King of Karaoke. It was indeed a good song. Apparently, only Huamin could make Qin Chu sing a good song for everyone. Taking advantage of her pregnancy, Huamin finally forced Mr. Qin to sing. Leaning on Huamin's shoulder, Lu Yen enjoyed the moment. Isn't it good? Yeah, it's good. Hey, where did you go? I went out for a smoke. Lu Yen lied. Smoke less. It's not good for your lungs. Huamin nagged again. Yeah, I know. Sis, don't worry about me. Oh, sis, you're pregnant now. You must be careful. I know. I'm very careful. No, I'm just worried that someone might try to harm you. Huasichin ran away and we don't know who saved him. That's a hidden danger. Also, you and my brother-in-law have offended those despicable people. They might try to harm you. Yeah. Don't worry. Your brother-in-law arranged a lot of people for me. I don't even have to drive my own car. I'm surrounded by people everywhere I go. Huamin chuckled. Sis, now that your identity has been exposed, there will be as many people who want to catch you as there are people who want to catch me. I know. Huamin seemed to be prepared for this. Do you know why they want to catch us? Because they want to use us to threaten Dad, right? Do you know why they want to threaten Dad? Dad must be very valuable. After all, he's a medical and chemical genius. He must be able to develop many extraordinary things. Huamin guessed. Sis, Dad has something. Lu Yen lowered her voice and said, What is it? Huamian was curious to see how mysterious Lu Yen was. Something that can shock the world. This thing has always been in Dad's hands. I don't know what it is, but for that thing those people have been chasing after us for so many years, you know how important it is. Also, the people from America's National Security Agency, they don't really want to protect Dad. In fact, they are under house arrest in disguise. How could this be? Huamin was shocked. Mom's accident is also related to this matter. I'll tell you the details later. Anyway, from now on you have to be more careful than before, because your enemies will increase, and there will be more and more people who want to catch you every day. Yes. Huamin nodded heavily. On the other hand, and was listless when he came back. Suyu and Tang Chuan rolled the dice a little later. They walked over and patted Xiao En's shoulder. Master En, do you have something on your mind tonight? President Su, don't mess around. Hearing Suyu call him Master En, and felt a little uncomfortable. What's wrong? President Su, what do you think it's like to fall in love with your idol? And suddenly asked. I've never fallen in love, so I don't know. Okay. You've been acting strange lately. What's wrong? Did you get rejected by Lu Yen? Suyu guessed. President Su, come on, have some sweet potatoes. To stop Suyu from talking, and took out the roasted sweet potatoes he had bought for Lu Yen and stuffed them into Suyu's mouth. Hey! Suyu wanted to say something, but stood up and left. Is he crazy? This guy has been acting strange lately. Suyu was dumbfounded. On the other hand, after Qin Chu finished singing, Huamin immediately turned into a fangirl and handed him a wine glass. Honey, you've worked hard. You sang well. Come on, drink some wine to moisten your throat. You're so attentive today. Do you have a favor to ask of me? Qin Chu tilted his head and glanced at Huamin. Wow, you guessed it right. Honey, you're amazing. Huamin clapped his hands. Qin Chu. Chapter 3472. I knew it. Qin Chu was speechless. He knew that his wife's unexpected cuteness meant that she wanted something from him. Honey, isn't Han Su's wedding tomorrow? So someone from our family has to go to the wedding. You're so busy every day and won't have time to go. Go on. Qin Chu calmly watched his wife go on a monologue. So I have to represent our family and show some concern for our classmates' weddings. What's the main point? Qin Chu crossed his arms and looked at her patiently. The main point is, can I not bring the bodyguards you assigned to me? I'm not a military official, nor am I a celebrity. Everywhere I go, I have a bunch of bodyguards. I'm a pregnant woman, but I still have to be protected by people. If other students see me, they'll think I'm pretentious. That's impossible. Don't even think about it. Huamin didn't want to bring bodyguards, so Qin Chu directly rejected her request. Calm down and let me finish. Okay? Huamin continued to act like a spoiled child. Honey, I think you should stop. How about I sing you another song? Huamin. Ha ha ha. You can't bully me like this. Huamin couldn't help but laugh. This was the first time Qin Chu asked to sing for her. It meant that he didn't want to talk to her anymore. I can't not bring bodyguards. Honey, everything else is good, but this is out of the question. Honey, I didn't say I won't bring one. Can I bring one? No. Qin Chu was now doubly protective of Huamin. He wanted to be surrounded by bodyguards every day. Ever since Huasiqian kidnapped Huamin, the relationship between Huamin and the professor seemed to have become obvious. So, Huamin's enemies would be very, very many. He also knew the strength of his subordinates. If he was alone, it would definitely not work. If someone took advantage of a loophole, it would be too late for regrets. Qin Chu was unwilling to make such a low-level mistake, so he would rather be blamed by his wife than compromise. Honey, I'm not done yet. I said I'll only bring one person. Actually, it's Yen. Huamin saw that Qin Chu had rejected him, so he quickly revealed his trump card. You want to take Lu Yen there? Qin Chu was surprised. Yeah, what do you think? My female bodyguard is amazing, right? Haha, you know how strong our Yen is. She alone is enough to protect me. Honey, have you forgotten how Nalo blocked us at the wonton restaurant that day? Is that an accident? Nalo doesn't appear every day. He doesn't go to the market every day. Before Qin Chu could say anything, Huamin grabbed Lu Yan's hand. Right, Yen? You'll protect me, won't you? Sis, don't make me a scapegoat. Lu Yen was hesitant. After what had happened that night, she was terrified and didn't dare to go out with her sister again. Honey, I don't want to go to a class reunion with so many people around me. I'll be laughed at. You know me. I don't like to be in the limelight. Brother-in-law, just agree. Look at how pitiful my sister is. Lu Yan's heart almost melted when she saw her sister's coquetry. Honey, look, even your son agrees to let me go. Then, Huamin pulled Qin Chu's hand and placed it on his belly. Then he made a face and stuck out his tongue. Not far away, Suyu watched the scene with a complicated expression. Buddy, does it hurt your heart? Wei Liao came over with a bottle of beer and asked with a smile. Chapter 3473. It's not piercing my heart anymore. It's already broken. Ha ha ha. Wei Liao was in a good mood and guffawed. Hey, Lord Su. Where's your confidant? Who are you talking about? Suyu played dumb. Miss Zhang. She moved out. Do you think you can't live well after experimenting with her? Get out of here. You're becoming more and more like that shameless Tang Chuan and telling dirty jokes. Suyu nudged Wei Liao with his shoulder. Miss Zhang has a good figure and looks. I heard she has a good personality. Why don't you like her? I don't feel anything for her. Okay, let's not talk about her. It's all in the past. So you didn't care about Zheng Ro moving out. He didn't feel anything for her and felt it was a waste of time. It was good that Zheng Ro moved out so he wouldn't have to ask her to leave in the future. There's one here. Don't you want to talk to her? Wei Liao looked at Huamin. Who? So you followed his gaze. Who do you think? You're not talking about Lu Yan, are you? Who else? Other than Lu Yan, is there anyone else you can flirt with here? Forget it. Please forgive me. I want to live a few more years. That girl is a liar and I can't stop her. I really can't. Suyu had been in business for many years and was knowledgeable. The first time he saw Lu Yan, he knew she wasn't easy to deal with. He didn't want to cause trouble. You haven't even talked to her. How do you know you can't? Wei Liao tried to make Suyu flirt with her. You can try. I really can't do it. Do you think I dare to flirt with her in front of Dr. Jiang? Wei Liao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. But don't get me in trouble, bro. Hey, you two. Get up and drink. I'm too happy today. Tang Chuan did not stop there either. He directly rushed over, grabbed Suyu and Wei Liao, and brought them to the table. Qi Ning was also in a very good mood. After experiencing such a thrilling proposal, she was in a state of excitement. Qi Ning took the lemonade and gave it to the kids at the twins' table. When he came back, he sat down beside Qin Chu. Brother? Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy for you. Qin Chu seemed to know what Qi Ning wanted to say. I might really be getting married this time. Qi Ning gently bit her lips, with the shyness of a young girl. It's a good thing. You'll get married sooner or later. Qin Chu smiled faintly. Brother, you have to prepare a dowry for me. No problem. Leave it to me. I'll make sure you'll be satisfied. Brother, my daddy is getting old. I want to bring him back to live with us in a few years. When Tang Chuan and I have children, I want him to come back and enjoy the happiness of being with his family. At that time, I'll take care of it. Brother, you're the best. Qi Ning couldn't leave her father alone in the States, so she had been talking to her brother about the company's future. Qin Chu seemed to be very smart. As soon as his sister opened her mouth, he knew what she wanted. He directly said, I'll take care of it, which made Qi Ning's heart feel warm. The wedding must be grand. The Qin family hasn't had a happy event in a long time. Who said so? Isn't the second baby in my sister-in-law's belly a happy event? Qi Ning looked up at her brother, still a few months away. Thinking of the second baby, Qin Chu's heart felt warm. Does the baby have a name yet? Not yet. Then, can I pick one for you? Qi Ning raised her hand bravely. Qin Chu's face was full of question marks. Qin Huahua, what do you think? Thinking of her sister-in-law's surname, Qi Ning suddenly had an idea. Chapter 3474. Qin Chu. What's with that expression? Tell me the truth. How did you come up with such a horrible name? Qin Chu asked Qi Ning in all seriousness. Qi Ning looked embarrassed. You might as well call him Qin Shou. Ha ha ha. How could I trick my little nephew like that? Qin Ning burst into laughter. On the other side, Zhu Lingling mysteriously held Hua Min's hand. Mian, come here. Why? Are you acting like a spy? Hua Min chuckled. Come on, let's make a secret plan. What plan? It's about that bastard Han Su's wedding tomorrow. Fuck, that bastard. I haven't seen him for 800 years. Now that he's married, he's finally thinking of us. How shameless is he? We've already left the group, but he still added us back. Only he would do such a disgusting thing. Forget it. Didn't he give you a monetary gift when you got married? Damn. I'm even angrier now that you mention it. When I got married to Gao Ran, he didn't even come. Instead, he asked someone to give me a red envelope of 300 yuan. Only 300 yuan. What does that mean? Nowadays, even a meal costs more than 300 yuan. Actually, there's nothing wrong with it. After all, I'm not that close to that guy. I'll give him 300 yuan for his wedding as well. But, he said gold this time. Look at what he's doing. It's a bit pretentious. It's the first time I've heard of someone accepting gold as a gift. Hua Min touched his forehead. It's not a bit pretentious. It's asking for trouble. Where do you think I'm going to buy 300 yuan of gold as a gift? He's obviously trying to trick us. Although we're not short of money now, money doesn't come from nowhere. I keep feeling that we've been taken for a fool this time. Why don't we not go tomorrow? I think if we don't go, he won't let it go. He'll probably cause trouble in the group, Hua Min said. Then leave the group and don't join anymore. We won't interact anymore. But I already promised you that day. If I don't go, won't I be breaking my promise? Hua Min felt that it was a little inappropriate to do so. You're so cunning. Why do you need to consider whether or not to go back on your word with that kind of person? Go fuck yourself. Zhu Lingling was also a little drunk, so she was very excited when she talked about this. Look at the rotten garlic in our high school. None of them are good. Of course, except you and Qin Chu, ha. That's enough. Hua Min smiled. I heard that Wei Dong doesn't even keep in touch with Han Su anymore. That guy is such a scoundrel. He's always two-faced and two-faced. Now that he's married, he dumped his long-suffering girlfriend. He's so heartless. He's blinded by glory and wealth. Hua Min commented. Hey, what do you think? Why don't I buy him a transfer bead? I saw it sold in the shop. It's just a red string and a bead. It's about 300 to 400 yuan. Zhu Lingling suddenly had an idea. Haha, you're the wife of the director. Is it really okay to do that? Hua Min couldn't stop laughing. What's wrong with it? I'll buy 2 and give 1 to each of us. No. As for me, Qin Chu wants us to give him some, but not too shabby. After all, there are reporters here. We don't want to lose face, but we still have to care about our husband. Hua Min tried to persuade Zhu Lingling. You're too kind. When Ning Ziyuan got married, you spent 200 yuan. Where did that go? Zhu Lingling felt that Hua Min was too kind to Han Su this time. Chapter 3475. That's different. Things are different now. Hua Min smiled faintly. Okay. Anyway, we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. If I'm in a good mood, I'll buy him a gold bead worth 600 yuan. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll buy him a cheap one. Okay. Madam, you'll be giving him face if you go. You can give him anything. Everyone was so happy that they played until 12 o'clock. Later, seeing that the children were all sleepy, although they still wanted to continue, they still decided to end it early and go home. Qin Chu hesitated for a while before agreeing to Hua Min that he would only take Lu Yen to their classmate's wedding. In private, Qin Chu told Lu Yen, "Don't cause trouble. I'll try my best." Lu Yen giggled and ran away, which gave Qin Chu a headache. The next day, Qin Chu escorted his 2 daughters to piano lessons and solfeggio exercises. Hua Min, Lu Yen, and Zhu Lingling went to Han Su's wedding. Lu Yen drove a new white Bentley to the wedding with Hua Min and Zhu Lingling. "Yen, you're so beautiful today." Sitting in the back seat, Zhu Lingling glanced at Lu Yen, who was driving, and was stunned. It was rare to see her dressed so demurely and gentlemanly. She wore a black and white dress with a simple Cartier bracelet on her wrist. Her long hair fell over her shoulders and she wore classic Dior pearl earrings. Compared to her usual casual style, Lu Yen looked very different. Today, Lu Yen indeed looked like a socialite. My sister dressed me up. I feel a bit weird. Lu Yen was a bit embarrassed. No, no, no. You look very good. You can even go to a beauty contest like this. Sister Lingling, I like how fake you are. Ha ha ha. You're so funny. Zhu Lingling obviously liked the talkative Lu Yen. On the way, the three chatted and laughed. Mian, we really have to give him the gift. It's almost 10,000 yuan. Looking at the golden mascot in her hand, Zhu Lingling was a little reluctant to part with it. What else can I do? Huamin felt that since he was already here, he might as well take things as they came. Let's just buy 2 imitation ones. Lingling, shall we make a bet? Huamin looked at her with a smile. Bet on what? Let's bet that there's a professional gold appraiser at the place where Han Su's family receives gifts. Do you believe me? Fuck. He's so shameless. And he's not embarrassed? I'll bet you 1,000 red packets. Do you want to do it? Huamin deliberately provoked Zhu Lingling. I agree. Yen, you have to be our witness. When your sister loses, you have to give me a red envelope. Sister Lingling, you should prepare your money. My sister probably won't lose. Lu Yen thought her sister's IQ was high even though she was pregnant. You 2 sisters. I don't believe it. How could a man like him have the nerve to do such a thing? Zhu Lingling thought it was too weird for Han Su to do such a thing even if he was shameless. When the 3 of them arrived at the entrance of the hotel, they parked their car and walked in with their invitations. There was a row of staff at the entrance of the lobby. It looked like this was the place where they received gifts. May I ask who you are? Huamin, Zhu Lingling. We're Han Su's high school classmates. Huamin introduced himself. Ah, this way please. You can give your gifts first. The young man acted as a guide and led them to the place where they could give gifts. The place was filled with piles of gold. It looked like many people had arrived. At this moment, Huamian saw 2 professional-looking men in suits and white gloves. They were carefully inspecting the gold and weighing it. Then they put on the touchstone. Lingling, look at that. Huamin smiled slightly and pointed at the touchstone. Fuck! Zhu Lingling felt as if 10,000 alpacas had run through her mind. Lu Yen, on the other hand, wasn't paying attention. She had been vigilant since she entered, afraid that someone dangerous would sneak in and harm her sister. Chapter 3476. I told you we can't give fake gold, Huamin said in a low voice. Damn it. Even I think it's too expensive to give fake gold. Zhu Lingling was furious. Then, under the watchful eyes of several staff members, Huamin and Zhu Lingling handed over the gold jewelry they had picked from the jewelry store. After being weighed and tested, they were considered to have passed and were invited into the banquet hall. Miss Zhu Lingling, here's my red packet of 1,000 yuan. Huamin reminded her kindly. Sure. I'll transfer it to you right now. Zhu Lingling picked up her cell phone and sent Huamin 5 red packets of 200 yuan in a row. Huamin happily accepted them. Damn it, you don't have to be a doctor anymore. You've been blackmailing us all day. It's enough for your daily expenses. Zhu Lingling laughed. No, I'm afraid you'll jump into the Yellow River if I blackmail you too much. Of course not. Even someone as thick-skinned as Han Su didn't jump into the Yellow River. How can I? As soon as Zhu Lingling finished speaking, she saw Han Su walking over with his mother. Zhu Lingling's voice was too loud, so they all heard her. Han Su looked a bit embarrassed. The bride, on the other hand, glanced coldly at Huamin and Zhu Lingling's faces. Honey, who's this? My classmate. Han Su smiled. You have a lot of classmates. Elementary, middle, high school, and university. Which one? The bride didn't seem to give up and asked. My high school classmate. Oh, so she's from second high. Obviously, the bride's tone was contemptuous. Although second high was a famous school, many commoners got in because of their grades. Therefore, they weren't considered outstanding in an elite school. Lingling, Huamin, you're here? Out of habit, Han Su casually called out to Huamin and Huamin out of school. The bride was instantly unhappy and stared at Huamin. This is your class bell? Yes. Hansu nodded and smiled at Huamin. Then the boys in your class really have a problem with their eyesight. If someone like her can be considered the class belle, then wouldn't I be a joke if I went to your school? Obviously, the bride was not happy that Hansu called Huamin Beauty Hua, despite her ordinary looks. Don't listen to Hansu. He's just joking. I'm not the prettiest girl in the class. Huamin was a little embarrassed, so he explained, but the bride didn't seem to buy it. Oh, don't be so modest. It's okay. There aren't any outstanding girls in your school anyway. It's not strange that you're the prettiest girl in the class. Hey, what are you talking about? Are you looking for trouble? Do you want to cause trouble? Zhu Lingling immediately raised her voice. My wife just likes to joke around. Haha, don't take it to heart. Han Su hurriedly explained. There's a limit to your jokes, right? Why? Are you looking down on our school? So, then don't look for Han Su. Isn't he also from our school? Why are you pretending to be a big shot? Zhu Lingling had always had a fiery temper and never cared about others' feelings. She didn't think as much as Huamin. Therefore, he directly vented all the dissatisfaction in his heart. The bride was furious when she heard this. She pointed at Zhu Lingling and shouted, How dare you? How dare you talk to me like that? Do you know who my father is? I don't care who your father is. I don't want to be your mother, so I don't want to know the details, Zhu Lingling retorted. To be honest, Huamin almost burst out laughing when he heard Zhu Lingling's classic words. Zhu Lingling was a tough woman, wasn't she? Chapter 3477. You. Han Su's wife was so angry that her hands trembled. She tugged at Han Su's sleeve. Honey, look at her. Honey, calm down. Let me introduce her to you. Then Han Su looked at Huamin and said, This is my classmate, Huamin. She's the deputy director of Southside Recuperation Center and chief of neurology. Her husband is the president of GK. What? The bride was shocked. Huamin. The bride didn't listen carefully, and Han Su didn't say Huamian's real name. He kept calling her Beauty Hua. So, she didn't know this was Huamin. Almost all the young people in Sea City knew the name Huamin. This woman was a legend. The legend of Cinderella marrying into a rich family. She was an intern nurse who was promoted to deputy director. So, from the bride's reaction, she obviously knew about Huamin. She just didn't know the beautiful and gentle woman standing in front of her was Huamin. Hello, I'm Huamin. Deputy Director Hua. I was rude just now. Please don't take it to heart. I like to joke. The bride held Huamin's hand intimately and was about to lean in. However, Lu Yen pushed him away. Stay away from my pregnant woman. Thank you, Lu Yen said expressionlessly. Han Su looked a bit embarrassed. She's my bodyguard. Huamin introduced Yen briefly. To avoid the awkwardness, Han Su quickly introduced Zhu Lingling again. This is Zhu Lingling. Her husband is Gao Ran, the youngest director of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Huh? So you're the director's wife. Sorry for the disrespect. Hearing Zhu Lingling's background, the bride didn't dare to blame Zhu Lingling for offending her. Therefore, he hurriedly went forward to curry favor with her enthusiastically. His attitude changed faster than the weather. Zhu Lingling glared at her. Hey, that's enough. Don't talk too much. We haven't had breakfast yet. I'm hungry. Let's go eat first. Come in, please. The bride and Han Su led them inside warmly. At this moment, Lu Yen quietly walked behind the bride and swung the razor blade in her hand. His movements were so fast that no one could see him clearly. 3 seconds later, the bride's red evening gown slid open from her back to her butt. Her white underwear and panties were exposed to the air. Ah! The bride was so scared that she squatted down and covered her face. What happened? Han Su hurriedly took off his suit and covered his wife with it. All the guests were dumbfounded. If they didn't know, they would have thought that the bride was going to do a striptease. Ha ha ha. Zhu Lingling couldn't stop laughing. That damned woman, she deserves it. Zhu Lingling watched the drama unfold with satisfaction. Huamin immediately reacted and glanced at Yen beside him. He lowered his voice and asked, "Did you do it?" "Congratulations, you guessed right." Lu Yen smiled. Can't you stop?" "That woman bullied you. If anyone tries to bully you, they're trying to bully me. This is just a small lesson." Lu Yen didn't think it was a big deal. "All right, my little ancestor, can we go back after attending the wedding in peace?" At this moment, a commotion came from the crowd. Huamin and Lu Yen followed the crowd's gaze. A sweet-looking woman in a white wedding gown walked in. Her belly was about the same size as Huamin's. "Fuck. I have a feeling that she's here to cause trouble. Huamin, do you want to bet 1,000 yuan on her?" Zhu Lingling leaned close to Huamin's face and asked. "No." Huamian refused directly. "Zhu Lingling. Why are you here?" Han Su's eyes were filled with shock when he saw the woman. Chapter 3478. Han Su. Is wealth really that important? The woman called out Han Su's name. "What nonsense are you talking about? You shouldn't be here. Hurry up and leave." Han Su's expression was unnatural as he urged the woman to leave in a low voice. "I'm not leaving. Why should I leave? I'm not a mistress. Han Su. I've lived with you for so many years. You dumped me just because you found a woman with power. Are you even human? Didn't I give you money as compensation? What else do you want to do?" "I don't want money, and I won't abort the child." "Who's this woman?" Before Han Su could speak, the fierce-looking bride walked over with her 140-kilogram body weight. "I'm Han Su's longtime girlfriend," the woman said. "So what? We didn't get a marriage certificate, did we?" "Since we didn't get a marriage certificate, we're not protected by the law. If you're not, don't come looking for trouble." Obviously, the woman seemed to know something about Han Su's past. "You're a mistress. Do you know that? You forcibly interfered in our relationship. Mistresses should be despised." The woman was extremely angry. "Mistress? Who are you calling a mistress? We got a marriage certificate last week, and we're getting married today. I'm already a wife protected by the marriage law. Are you the mistress now?" "Han Su, I don't want money. I don't want anything. Don't marry her, okay? Our child is more than 5 months old. It's a boy. He's your son." The woman seemed to want to use the child to save the relationship that had been diluted by money. "Anya, stop it. Okay? Didn't I tell you that we've broken up? You took the money. Why are you acting crazy now?" Han Su was unmoved. "Come on, throw this crazy woman out. She's disgusting." Han Su's wife didn't want to continue the conversation and yelled for the woman to leave. "I'm not leaving. I'm going to take Han Su with me. I love him. Han Su, I'll try my best to give you whatever you want. Don't marry her." The woman cried heartbreakingly and rushed up to Han Su, clutching his clothes and refusing to let go. But Han Su's burly wife kicked her in the stomach. Then, the woman clutched her abdomen and slowly fell down. "Hey! I'm telling you, don't try to blackmail me. I've seen a lot of women like you. Don't pretend." The valiant bride was still hurling insults at the woman. At this moment, Huamin rushed over. Zhu Lingling wanted to shout, but it was too late. "Hey, Mian, don't get involved in their shitty business." Zhu Lingling felt helpless. If it were any other time, Huamin wouldn't have cared. But seeing that the woman was 5 months pregnant and being treated so roughly, she couldn't bear it. She was a pregnant woman, so she could empathize with her and felt that life was precious. "Are you okay?" Huamin ran over and helped the woman up. Looking at her heavy belly, she felt that this pregnant woman was really stupid. Was it worth it for a scumbag? Lu Yen hurried to follow her sister, afraid that something would happen to her sister. "I'm fine, thank you, but you don't have to worry about me. I've made up my mind to come here today. I can't let him leave me. I'm going to take Han Su with me." The woman held her belly with one hand, but she was still determined to take Han Su away. Chapter 3479. Even if a man came to steal the bride, he wouldn't succeed, let alone a woman. It wasn't the ancient times where technology was so advanced that a few security guards could clean up the scene. Don't be silly. He wasn't kidnapped. He ran away of his own accord. Why do you have to do this? Hua Min tried to persuade her. At this moment, the woman let go of Hua Min's hand and rushed up again. Han Su, if you don't kick her away today, I'll kick you away. Then the job my dad gave you. The bride didn't finish her sentence. Without a second thought, Han Su kicked the woman in the stomach. Get out. Get out. Han Su used some strength in his kick. The woman immediately fell to the ground, her face pale. Guards, take her out. She's so unlucky. The bride smiled smugly and called the security guards to take the woman out. When the woman was taken out, Hua Min saw blood oozing from her lower body. Seeing this, Hua Min gritted her teeth, turned around, and walked up to Han Su in a few steps. A loud slap was heard. Everyone present was shocked. Hua Min, you! Han Su was stunned. Han Su was stunned by the slap. He didn't expect the gentle and low-key Hua Min would slap him in the face in front of so many people. Han Su, you're such a scumbag. If you want power and wealth, then don't date. You've wasted her life for so many years. Now you kick your ex in order to please your current husband. She's pregnant with your child. Are you still human? Hua Min scolded him harshly. She knew she was meddling in other people's business, but she really crossed the line. Even if she saw someone beating a pregnant woman on the street, she wouldn't sit by and do nothing. People nowadays were too cold. If people continued to be so cold, then one day there would be no warmth in the world. Hey, who do you think you are? Why did you hit my husband? The bride felt embarrassed when she saw that Han Su was beaten. Therefore, even though he knew Hua Min's identity, he still came over to argue with him aggressively. Hua Min glanced at the woman coldly. We're all women. Why do you have to be so ruthless? You're going to be a mother sooner or later. Don't do too much evil. There will be retribution. Who are you talking about? What's wrong with you? Is there something wrong with you? With that, Hua Min turned around and left. The bride seemed to be furious. While Hua Min was not paying attention, she stretched out her leg and placed it in front of Hua Min. He wanted to take the opportunity to trip her up. Such a despicable method. At that moment, Lu Yen flashed to her sister's side and helped her up. Then, he ruthlessly stepped on the bride's foot. Ah! Instantly, the sound of a pig being slaughtered filled the entire hotel. It hurts so much. Don't go. Stop right there. Seeing Lu Yen and Hua Min leaving, the bride seemed reluctant. Enough. Don't make trouble. Haven't you embarrassed yourself enough today? Han Su stopped her. My foot hurts so much. Can't walk. Ah, my bone is broken. Yes, Lu Yen saw the fat woman deliberately set Hua Min up and tried to trip her up. Such a vicious woman. How could he not punish her? So Lu Yen used all her strength to break at least 3 of the woman's toes. Sis, you're walking so fast. Where are you going? The pregnant woman is in critical condition. I want to ask if she's sent to Southside. I want to see if there's anything I can do to help. My goodness. It's an occupational disease. Sis, you're on vacation. Lu Yen was helpless. But the baby is 5 months old. I don't know if we can keep it. With that, Hua Min stopped walking. Suddenly remembering something, he turned around and hurried back to the hotel. Mian, where are you going? Zhu Lingling was speechless. She didn't know what was wrong with Mian today. Chapter 3480. My sister seems to be upset today. Lu Yen chuckled. Your sister is a doctor, and she's pregnant. She's probably furious now that she's in this situation. Zhu Lingling also laughed. Hua Min stormed into the room and went directly to the gift collection area. He took back the gold gift he had just given out. Hey, madam, what are you doing? A staff member immediately stopped him. I gave it to you. Can't I take it back? Hua Min was angry. But you've already given it out. It's a cash gift. What's wrong with cash gifts? They're for people, not dogs. I don't want to give them out now. Okay? How can you take back what you've given out? The staff member argued. Not only me. but my best friends as well. Huamin took back Zhu Lingling's gift. Hey, help! Someone's trying to steal our gold? Call the police. Let's see who will be humiliated in the end. By the way, my best friend's husband is Director Gao of the Municipal Public Security Bureau. Hearing this, the staff members looked at each other and froze, not knowing what to do. Huamin took the gold he and Lingling gave and left. Heroine, well done. I'll applaud you. Zhu Lingling laughed. She had been wondering why Huamian went back, but now she knew she was going to take back the gift she had given out. Haha, sis, you're too childish. It was the first time Lu Yen had seen her sister act in such a funny way and found her extremely cute. I'm childish. Anyway, I can't let the bastards who beat the pregnant woman get away with it. Huamin suddenly felt Han Su was a scumbag, but his wife was even scummier. She knew the woman was pregnant but still let Han Su kick her in the stomach. She was insane. You did the right thing. Sis, we've vented our anger. Let's go. Lu Yen opened the car door and asked her sister and Zhu Lingling to get in. At this moment, Huamin's cell phone rang. After a few more words, she hung up the phone. The pregnant woman was indeed sent to South Side. Her condition is a little urgent and complicated. I have to rush back to perform the surgery on her. Where are the other doctors? Zhu Lingling asked. The obstetricians and gynecologists are all here, but it might be a little complicated, so they don't dare to do it. I'll go back and sign the papers, then finalize the plan. All right, then I'll accompany you. Zhu Lingling felt that since she had nothing to do, she would accompany Huamin back to the hospital. Then sit tight, sis. Then Lu Yen sped all the way to South Side. Huamin hurriedly changed into his white coat and sterile scrubs before entering the operating theater. Zhu Lingling and Lu Yen waited in her office. Both of them were playing with their phones as they waited for Huamin. The operation lasted for more than 2 hours. When Huamin came out, he was already sweating profusely. Sis, how did it go? Lu Yen walked up to Huamin and supported him. She had a massive hemorrhage. The adults saved her, but the baby is gone. Huamin's voice sounded tired. Damn it. Han Su is a bastard. He didn't even spare his own child. He used to call Wei Dong a bastard in private. Don't be fooled by Wei Dong's sloppy appearance. He's much better than Han Su. Hearing this, Zhu Lingling cursed and scolded Han Su. I'd rather not go to the wedding today. My sister is so angry and exhausted. Lu Yen said. All right, let's go. I'll treat you to dinner. Huamin pulled them out. I'm not going to the stupid cafeteria. Zhu Lingling remembered that Huamin had cheated her of 1,000 yuan. So she had to blackmail him. Not going to the cafeteria. I'll treat you to barbecue. Okay? Okay. Zhu Lingling nodded. They walked to a barbecue restaurant near the hospital. Unexpectedly, as soon as they sat down, they heard a familiar voice. As soon as they sat down, more than 10 men with sticks rushed in. They're here. Beat them up. After saying that, a group of people rushed forward without thinking. Huamin and Zhu Lingling didn't know what to do. Chapter 3481. Oh my God! Where did these people come from? Are we going to die today? Mian, why didn't you bring bodyguards today? No, you're pregnant. You go first. Go out the back door and call for help. Yen and I will stay here for a while. Seeing so many people with so many weapons, Zhu Lingling was worried that Huamin, who was pregnant, would get hurt. However, Huamin just sat there calmly and continued to tear open the packaging of the disposable chopsticks. It's okay. Yen will take care of it, Huamin said. Zhu Lingling. Big sister, you're not joking, right? How can we, the older sisters, push our younger sisters into such a dangerous situation? Zhu Lingling wondered if Huamin was crazy. Instead of running away, he asked Lu Yen to take care of it. Lu Yen looked like a young girl next door. How could she do it? She would be beaten into a pulp. At this moment, Lu Yen picked up the juice on the table and sipped it with a straw. Then, she stood up calmly. Sis Lingling, you guys eat first. Grill more meat for me. I'll be done in a minute. Then, Lu Yen stood up and lifted an empty stool behind her. Then, she smashed it hard. With a loud crash, the stool broke into pieces. Then, she bent down and picked up a stool leg that was the same length as the stool. The people who had rushed in fiercely were dumbfounded when they saw a young girl calmly walking toward them with a stool leg in her hand. You offended someone. Do you know that? We were asked by someone to teach you a lesson. We know it's not good to hit women, but we're professionals. You can only blame your bad luck. Fuck, what are you talking about? Are you gonna fight or not? I'm hungry. I'll eat meat later. Then, before the people could react, Lu Yen rushed up with the stool leg. Under Zhu Lingling's astonished gaze, Lu Yen fought against 10 people. In less than 2 minutes, all of them were down. Her movements were especially fast. She knocked them down with a single move. Her club directly hit their vital parts. The dozen or so men did not even have the strength to resist, let alone fight back. Lu Yen beat them like an adult beating kindergarten kids. The difference between them was too great. There was no need for any big moves or advanced fighting skills. Once he pinpointed the acupoints, he would beat them up. 2 minutes later, the ground was littered with people. Wails of agony could be heard everywhere. Please spare my life. Yeah. Stop hitting me. My waist is about to break. Heroin. Stop hitting us. We're convinced. We're kneeling. The few men begged for mercy without any backbone. Who paid you to come here? We don't know him either, the leader said. Lu Yen stomped hard on the man's finger, making him cry out in pain. Miss, I really don't know. In our line of work, we don't dare to ask too much. We were all introduced by a friend. We only know that the other party gave us 100,000 yuan and told us your whereabouts. He told us to teach the 3 of you a lesson. What's your bank account number? I'll check it myself. The man looked a bit depressed. Lu Yen lifted the stool leg and was about to hit the man's head. He was so scared that he immediately screamed. Don't hit me. Madam, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. The man held his head and begged for mercy. Chapter 3482. Then, the man carefully took out a bank card from his pocket. This is it. Lu Yen took it and glanced at it, instantly memorizing the numbers. Okay. Get out of here and don't come back. Otherwise, I won't go easy on you and paralyze you one by one. Thank you, Mississippi. Thank you, Mississippi. The dozen or so big men stood up and ran away. Lu Yen returned to her seat and looked at the beef that Huamin had roasted. She picked up a piece and put it in her mouth. My God, Yen, you're a professional bodyguard? Zhu Lingling was still in shock. Yeah. When I was abroad, I was in charge of security work. In order to fool Zhu Lingling, Lu Yen lied smoothly. Huamin couldn't help but chuckle. Good job, Mian. I was wondering why you didn't bring a bodyguard today. Turns out your sister is a bodyguard. Good job. Come on. Thank you for chasing away the flies for us. The 3 women didn't seem to be affected at all and continued eating and drinking as if what they had just experienced wasn't real. After dinner, Zhu Lingling took a taxi home. Lu Yen was worried about her sister, so she stayed close to her in the hospital. In the afternoon, while Huamin went to check on the patients, she waited outside the ward. Looking at the information on the bank card, she saw that it was indeed the bride who attended the wedding this morning. It seemed she hated Huamin for giving her the gold gift and then taking it away. This woman did whatever she wanted just because her father was in charge of the local tax bureau. Lu Yen thought if she didn't get rid of her, she would be a disaster sooner or later. So, she thought for a few seconds. Then, she gave the order to her subordinates. You guys arrange a car accident. I'll send the target to you later. Don't let this woman die. Make her a vegetable and never wake up. That way, that scumbag will never be free. Thinking of the woman who lost her baby at noon, Lu Yen thought she might as well go all the way. Okay, boss. The target is the daughter of a certain bureau chief, so the Transportation Bureau will definitely investigate this matter. Pick one of you to do this. After you're done, leave the country immediately and go to Thailand to wait for my next update. Boss, are you leaving soon? Yes, in the next 2 days. This matter must be completed by today. Yes, boss. I promise to complete the mission. Then Lu Yen hung up. Lu Yan's subordinates were all top experts. It was easy to create a car accident, but it was very difficult to knock someone into a vegetative state. Headquarters of Imperial Star, Shao, and what's wrong? President Su? Fuck. I've been calling you for a long time. What are you thinking about? Nothing. And was a little stunned. You're just out of love. Actually, it's not that bad. Lu Yen didn't even respond to you. It's unrequited love. President Su, can we not talk about this anymore? Since last night, Shaoan had been absent-minded. It was hard for him to accept that the queen of mercenaries he admired the most was Lu Yen. All day long, he thought about the words Lu Yen had said to him and the fights Lu Yen had fought in the past few days. He was in a daze. No, are you a man? Look at me. I've been in love for so many years, but I'm still living well. You've only been in love for a few days, but your soul is almost gone. Suyu teased. I'm not as strong as you. Besides, you can see Dr. Hua often, but I can't. Lu Yen might leave at any time. And new people like Lu Yen wouldn't stay here for long. How about this? Before Lu Yen leaves, I'll ask her out for dinner for you. So you suddenly had an idea. Chapter 3483. No, please don't. And shook his head resolutely. Why not? If the distance between you and Dr. Hua is like the distance between the sky and the sea, then the distance between me and Lu Yen is like the distance between a human and a god. It's not something that can be solved with a meal. Whoa, you're even using words, right? What kind of human and god are you talking about? So you thought it was a bit exaggerated. Of course, so you didn't know Lu Yan's identity? Although Lu Yen didn't ask An to keep it a secret, but An didn't tell anyone about Lu Yan's identity. After all, in their line of work, they could lose their heads at any time. The more people who knew, the more danger they would be in. Forget it, President Su. I know my limits. From now on, Lu Yen will be my idol forever. Really? She's just a little girl. Why do you admire her? Suyu looked at An in amusement. He felt that An was acting weird today, like Su Jima, who was heartbroken, talking about the distance between the sky and the sea and the distance between a human and a god. Okay, President Su, I want to be alone. Suyu, this is my office. So you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Then I'll go out and not disturb you. If you go out, who will protect me? What if those female artists rush in and molest me? So you teased and then just do it. You won't lose anything anyway. Saying this and got up and left. Damn it, that's not funny. Is Mayan really in love this time? She was used to seeing Shao and being tricked by those scheming bitches on WeChat or the people nearby. So you didn't know if he was serious this time, but An was very depressed. At South Hill Manor, Huamin and the twins were eating the cake that the maid had just baked downstairs. It was a happy scene. Chin Chu got off work and changed his clothes. When he walked downstairs, he ran into Lu Yen at the stairs. Brother-in-law, it's time to get off work. Lu Yen was about to go downstairs when she bumped into Chin Chu. She immediately greeted him with a smile. Yes. Xiaoyan, did you do that to Han Su's wife? Yeah. Lu Yen nodded. I heard about the incident in the afternoon. Brother-in-law, do you think I went too far? Lu Yen was curious and didn't understand Chin Chu's attitude. No, I think you've been merciful enough. That woman had a death wish. Luckily, your sister is fine. If anything happened to Mion and the baby, I'm afraid I wouldn't be able to vent my anger even if I killed their entire family. Hee, don't worry. I won't let anything happen to my sister, Lu Yen said confidently. When are you leaving? How did you know that? Lu Yen looked at Chin Chu in surprise. Your subordinates have all retreated, one after another. Yeah, I'm planning to go to Thailand. Psycho Chow is waiting for me there. Call me if you need anything. Lu Yen understood that Chin Chu meant money, connections, and manpower when he said anything. Okay, brother-in-law will. Don't work so hard. Remember to come back and see your little nephew. Then Chin Chu turned around and went downstairs. His back looked cold and aloof. What he said just now was out of concern for Lu Yen. Lu Yen, the hard-working mother, used to have no one to rely on. But now, she had Huamin, the twins, and Huamin's baby. All of a sudden, he had so many close relatives. That kind of satisfaction was something that could not be expressed with words. At this moment, Lu Yan's watch rang. She lowered her head and pressed the answer button. Chapter 3484. Boss. What's up? Young Master Chow wants to know when you'll arrive in Thailand. Tomorrow morning. I'll leave here in the middle of the night. I should be there before dawn. Okay, boss. See you then. Lu Yan turned off her watch and went downstairs. Auntie, come and eat the cake. I saved a big piece for you. Little Bean called out to Lu Yan from afar. Okay. Lu Yan ran to him happily. Auntie, we have a piano performance in school in a few days. Can you, Mommy, and Daddy go and watch it? Lu Yan didn't have the heart to refuse. You two can play the piano so well. Do you still need to show off? Huamin chuckled. Of course. Otherwise, those seniors will think we're good-for-nothings. We must show them our skills, Little Bean said. I agree. We must show them who's boss. Those pretentious girls. Pudding agreed with her sister, which was rare for her. You two little girls know how to scheme at such a young age. What will you do when you grow up? Lu Yan pinched Little Bean's chubby cheeks lovingly. Then she turned around and touched Pudding's earlobe. It was obvious that she had feelings for the two little girls. Little Bean, you must eat less cake and control your diet to maintain your figure, Lu Yan said. I'll try my best. Little Bean looked reluctant. Pudding, you still have a long way to go to make money. Don't play with your cell phone and stocks all the time. You must learn to do things like shopping, clothes, art, and tea ceremony. Haha. When you marry into a rich family, you must be a well-bred young lady who knows how to do everything. Okay, Auntie. I'll try. Pudding agreed without hesitation. Huamin felt something was wrong with Lu Yan's words. He wanted to ask her something but didn't think it was appropriate to ask in front of the kids. When the kids weren't looking, Huamin took Lu Yan's hand and stood up quietly. They walked to a corner. Huamin asked, Yan, are you leaving? Yes. When? Huamin was a bit sad. She even selfishly hoped that Yan would stay here forever and live happily with her family. However, she also knew that this was absolutely impossible. Qin Chu had told him that Lu Yan had been playing around every day since she came here. But in fact, they had already fought several times and killed several people. Lu Yan would never tell her sister these dark things because she knew her sister was a doctor who saved people. She was the exact opposite of her. Therefore, in order to take Huamin's emotions into consideration, she tried her best to show her positive side to her sister. After midnight, I'll take a speedboat to the public nuisance. There's a helicopter waiting for me there. So fast. Sis, it's not like I won't come back in the future. Don't be like this. Seeing her sister's disappointment, Lu Yan felt guilty. I just can't bear to part with you, and so can the children. I know. I promise you that as long as I'm free, I'll come here often. Okay? All right. Sis, you're pregnant now. You must be careful. You must bring bodyguards with you. Without me by your side, you can't act alone. You're a target for many bad guys. I know, Yan. I'll be careful. Okay. Take me to Sky Blessing Court later, Lu Yan said. Ha! Huamin was a bit surprised. I want to visit your adoptive mother, Mrs. Yang, Lu Yan said in a low voice. Chapter 3485. Okay, let's go in a bit. Huamin didn't say more. Putting on his coat, he left with Lu Yan. The two sisters drove a sports car without the twins. On the way, Lu Yan bought a lot of sea cucumbers, bird's nest, abalone, and ginseng from a high-end nutrition store. She spent more than 100,000 yuan without blinking an eye. Yan, you can't spend money like this. It's horrible. You'll go bankrupt sooner or later. Huamin knew Lu Yan had spent more than 1 million yuan on the things she bought for her family. The twins had it, Qin Chu had it, she had it, the baby in her belly had it, and even Qin Chu's parents had it. Even if she had money, it didn't come from nowhere and she couldn't spend it like this. Sis, in our business we make quick money. A deal can easily cost billions of yuan, which is an astronomical figure. I don't want to mistreat my subordinates, so I give them 8% and I give them 2%. Even so, I still have a lot of money. To be honest, I don't even know how much money I have in my Swiss bank account. I'm too lazy to check. Anyway, I know that even if I spend 1 million yuan every day, I'll still have 60 years to live. I won't be able to spend it all until I die. But you have children. Shouldn't you leave some for your children? I don't have children. Don't scare me. I'm still a child myself. Lu Yen chuckled. You and Xiao Fei will get married in the future and have children. You'll have your own family. You have to think about your future. Huamin tried to persuade Lu Yen to return to her family. Sis, to be honest, let's talk about it when I'm still alive. Lu Yen smiled faintly. Her words chilled Huamin's heart. Although it was painful to hear, he knew Lu Yen was right. Lu Yen was young and quick-witted. She had a strong body, good fighting skills, and top-notch marksmanship. What about the future? She was only a human, not a god. Sooner or later, she would grow old. Would she be able to deal with the dangers that came one after another? Soon, they arrived at Sky Blessing Court. Yang Meirong happened to be cooking dinner at home. When she saw Huamin, she was very happy. Mian, why didn't you tell me you were coming? No, it was a last-minute decision. Oh, this girl is... Seeing Lu Yen standing behind Huamin, Yang Meirong didn't recognize her. This is... Huamin was thinking about how to explain Lu Yan's identity. Lu Yan said, Hello, Auntie. I'm Qin Chu's distant cousin. I came back from abroad for a vacation. Ah, so you're Chu's sister. No wonder you're so beautiful. Come in quickly. Yang Meirong invited Lu Yen and Huamin into the house warmly. Lu Yen took out the shopping bags and placed them in the living room. Auntie, it's our first time meeting, so I bought a small gift. I hope you don't mind. These things are very expensive. You're so young and you're still a student. It's too expensive. Please return it. I can't accept it. Yang Meirong wasn't a greedy person. Since Huamian often bought supplements, she knew the price of them. So, she didn't want the little girl to spend money on them. Mom, since it's Yan's gift, please accept it. Huamin knew Lu Yan's temper, so he tried to persuade his mother to accept it. Have you two eaten yet? No, we're here to eat. Huamin put his arms around his mother's neck and acted like a spoiled child. Then I'll go make dumplings. The neighbor gave us some perilla leaves. I think dumplings are delicious. Then, Yang Meirong put on her apron and went into the kitchen. Sis, she's been very good to you these years, right? Lu Yen asked Huamin in a low voice. Chapter 3486. Good. Very good. I can tell she's a very down-to-earth woman. Huamin sat down on the sofa and picked up an apple to chew on. Mom, she's been through a lot. Her adoptive father died early and she had to take care of me and my brother. She also had to bear the name of Hua Zhenghai's mistress. It's all in the past. She's living a good life now. The two sisters discussed Yang Meirong in low voices. In the kitchen, she was busy making dumplings for the two kids. Soon, the white dumplings were in the pot. It's cooked. We'll be able to eat in a while. Are you too hungry? No, I'm fine. Lu Yen chuckled. Mom, I'm starving. Huamin said naughtily. Of course you're hungry. You have to take care of your body and eat 2 servings each. You can't starve my grandson. Mom, is Jixin still at work? Huamin asked casually. He's off work. He drove to the countryside with Bella. He said Bella's grandfather is critically ill. Oh, I see. Okay, sit down and eat some oranges. I bought them in the morning market. They're very fresh. Yang Meirong didn't remember Lu Yan's name, but she was very enthusiastic and kept asking Lu Yan to eat fruits. Okay, thank you, Auntie. Lu Yan didn't refuse and sat down on the sofa with Huamin to watch TV. Soon, the dumplings were ready. Yang Meirong brought in 3 plates of steaming dumplings. She also mixed some delicious side dishes. Perhaps it was because the dumplings were so delicious and homey that she felt warm. Lu Yen ate a plate of 20 dumplings in one sitting. Finally, she burped in satisfaction. Auntie, I like noodles. I like dumplings, blunt noodles, and handmade noodles. I've eaten many dumplings over the years, but none of them are as good as yours. If you like them, come often. I'll make them for you. There's no trouble. Next time, I'll make pork with pickled vegetables and round onion and beef. They're all delicious. Hearing the girl's praise, Yang Meirong was very happy. Huamin also ate a lot. Then the two sisters drove back to South Hill Manor. Sis, I'm gonna take a shower. All right. After a while, Lu Yan yelled from the bathroom. Sis, get me a bottle of shampoo. There's none left. All right. Huamin hurried to the storage room to get a bottle of shampoo. He opened the door, walked in, and handed it to Lu Yan. Then her gaze paused for a moment, as if something was spreading in her heart. What are you waiting for? Lu Yan turned around. No, this is the first time I see you naked. Your chest is as flat as mine. Huamin deliberately teased her. Ha ha ha. Dr. Hua, you're so evil. Amused, Lu Yan giggled. Huamin walked out and closed the door for Lu Yan. She slowly walked into the study alone with heavy steps. Qin Chu walked upstairs from downstairs and saw that Huamin's expression was not right. Thus, he hurried over to take a look. Sure enough, the moment the door of the study was pushed open, Qin Chu was stunned. Huamin sat in the chair with tears all over her face. Honey, close the door. Perhaps afraid that her family would see her crying, Huamin asked Qin Chu to close the door. What happened? Who bullied our vice director Hua? Heartbroken, Qin Chu walked over and hugged Huamin. Huamin leaned her head against Qin Chu's chest. She cried until Qin Chu's black shirt was soaked through. What's wrong? Qin Chu reached out and gently stroked her hair. Honey, I just want to bring Yen shampoo. She's taking a shower inside. Okay, and then? Qin Chu thought that Huamin must have seen something. Otherwise, she wouldn't have cried like this. Chapter 3487. Then, I saw the scars on her back. Qin Chu didn't speak. Instead, he gently raised his hand and wiped the tears off Huamin's face. There were so many scars on her back. They were so dense that it was shocking. Huamian's voice trembled as she recalled the scene from just now. Qin Chu had expected this. After all, Lu Yan had been fighting and killing for years and couldn't have come out unscathed. Not long ago, she was surrounded by Ian and his men in a cold storage room and almost died together with them. Lu Yan is a mercenary and her job is dangerous. She fights with people, kills on missions, and is even hunted down and on the run. She's bound to get hurt in the process, Qin Chu explained patiently. Honey, she's only 20 years old. In China, girls her age should be in college. She should dress up every day to go out with her boyfriend and hang out with her best friends. But Huamian couldn't help but cry again. Honey, everyone's life is different. Lu Yan has her own life. Even though you're sisters, you live in two different worlds. That's a fact that can't be changed. If only Dad, Mom, and Dad had given birth to her, then I could live the life she has now. But life can't be restarted. I know you love Yen, but this can't be changed. Honey, you're so smart. Don't you understand this? Qin Chu comforted Huamin for a while and held him tightly in his arms. On the other side, Lu Yan took a shower and changed into her pajamas. Then, she went to the twins' room and continued to play games with her nieces. At midnight, the twins fell asleep. Then, she changed into a black windbreaker, packed her belongings, and walked downstairs. It was already past midnight. At this time, everyone in South Hill Manor had fallen into a deep sleep. She didn't want to say goodbye to her sister because it would be another tear-jerking scene. She didn't like to cry and didn't want to be so soft-hearted. Therefore, she planned to leave quietly again and send her sister a text message later. Lu Yan left through the back door with her bag without alerting the security guard. The rest of the men picked her up and went to the pier. Huamin stood behind a big tree not far away, crying silently. Her heart ached as she watched Lu Yan leave alone. She wanted to give Lu Yan a good life, but at this moment, she realized how weak she was. It seemed that nothing could change. It's windy here, let's go back. Chin Chu took the coat and put it on Huamin. Then, he put his arm around her shoulder and went back to the room. Lu Yen left as abruptly as she had come, without any warning. Suyu was even more clueless about the situation, and got up in the morning and sent a message to Lu Yen, but she didn't reply. The number he saved was the temporary one Lu Yen used in China. Once she left, Lu Yen wouldn't log into her WeChat account, afraid that her whereabouts would be exposed. Seeing that there was no response, and mustered up his courage and made a call. In the end, he found that he couldn't get through. Then, he gritted his teeth and shamelessly called Huamin. President Hua. And what is it? On the other end of the phone, Huamin didn't sound very happy. Is Miss Lu Yen there? She likes lotus leaf noodles, right? I found a new restaurant on Tianyi Road. Tastes good. I want to ask her if she wants to eat it. It's okay, she's gone. Huamian sounded tired. Chapter 3488. An's heart skipped a beat when he heard the news. She left. Yeah. Where did she go? I don't know. Huamin told the truth. When will she come back? An asked anxiously. I don't know, and I'm sorry, but I really don't know where Yen is. Okay. Thank you, President Hua. After hanging up, An looked as if he had lost his soul. What's wrong? Did you lose money in the bet? Suyu teased him. Lu Yen left. Left? Where did she go? Suyu froze. I don't know. No one knows where she went. Why? What? Are you mad at Mian? Did you run away from home because of a fight? So you didn't seem to think of it as a simple matter. President Su, I want to take the day off. Are you going to see Lu Yen? Suyu looked at An in surprise. No, I'm just in a bad mood. I want to go out for a walk. Then, do you want me to find a female artist to accompany you, Mr. An? Mr. An? Suyu joked. No, President Su, don't joke with me. I'm not in the mood. Then An got up and left in a daze. Suyu didn't ask further, knowing that this guy had a crush on Hua Min's sister, but it was impossible to think with one's toes. Suyu didn't know Lu Yan's identity, but he knew Lu Yan's personality, and couldn't control someone like her. They weren't the same kind of people. So Suyu drove to work. He and Zheng Ro had WeChat, but they hadn't contacted each other since she left. Suyu didn't like to post on WeChat moments or like others. Zheng Ro used to post one every day, but after she moved away, she disappeared. Suyu had almost forgotten about her existence. But one day, when Suyu was scrolling through his WeChat moments, he suddenly saw Zheng Ro's status update. She posted a selfie that was taken during her morning jog. She was wearing black sportswear and no makeup. Although she didn't look as good as usual, at least she looked more comfortable. She wrote that she suddenly missed the mornings in Sea City. Zheng Ro liked to exercise. Last night, when Suyu and the others were at work, she would run and swim in the neighborhood. After Suyu finished reading it, he gave it a thumbs up. In less than 3 seconds, Zheng Ro sent him a WeChat message. Have you had breakfast? No. Suyu didn't know how to answer. Didn't I tell you to eat breakfast? Otherwise, it'll hurt your stomach. If you're too lazy to cook, didn't I buy oatmeal and milk in the fridge? You can use milk to make the oatmeal. It's nutritious and delicious. Yes, I didn't think of it for a while. I was too busy. If you're so busy, you won't be able to eat 3 meals a day, Zheng Ro argued. No, I'll starve to death. It's good to starve to death. There will be one less bachelor in the world and fewer bachelors in our country. Overall, it's beneficial. Sis, did you eat gunpowder? Why are you picking on me in the morning? So you didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Don't eat gunpowder. I drank dichlorvos. Suyu? Okay, go back to your work. I'll keep jogging. Okay. The two of them chatted for a while, but Suyu didn't feel anything. However, Zheng Ro had an ulterior motive. She wanted to get close to Suyu but couldn't make it too obvious. On the private plane, Boss, will arrive in Bangkok, Thailand, in 15 minutes. Do you have any plans after we land? With a military magazine in her hand, Lu Yen looked at all kinds of military equipment with great interest. She was leisurely holding a peach in her hand. Chapter 3489. I have plans. What plans? If I tell you everything, you'll be the boss. Lu Yen glared at her subordinates. Her subordinates were so scared that they didn't dare to say anything else. After the plane landed in Bangkok, Lu Yen and the others walked out of the airport. Lu Yen wore a human skin mask and looked normal. She blended into the crowd and didn't arouse any suspicion. In a hotel in Bangkok, young Master Chow, your father said that you can skip the meeting this afternoon, but you must attend the banquet. It will be held at the Central Asia Club. Amy stood beside Chow Fei. Okay. Chow Fei nodded and replied with one word. Young Master Chow, you look tired. Do you need me to massage you? Over the past few days, there had been one thing that had been very strange. Amy felt that after being with Chow Fei for so long, she should get closer to him. But in fact, she didn't. She was the same as when she was Chow Fei's maid on the first day. This master was hard to get close to. Amy wanted to get closer to Chow Fei many times, but he always ruthlessly rejected her. But now that he was finally separated from Lu Yen, Amy didn't want to give up this opportunity. No need. Chow Fei, did I do something wrong? Amy's eyes were brimming with tears as she tried to gain sympathy. Chow Fei stopped playing the game on his phone and glanced at her indifferently. Why do you ask? I feel like you're not satisfied with my performance since I came to your side. Otherwise, you wouldn't treat me like this. Don't I treat others like this? Chow Fei frowned. But you don't treat Lu Yen like this. Amy blurted out in a hurry. Ha! Lu Yen is my woman and you're my maid. Can you tell the difference? Chow Fei smiled coldly. I'm sorry, young Master Chow. Across the line. Amy felt a little regretful after speaking. She shouldn't have been so impatient. Amy, if you feel wronged, you can leave. With your skills, you can go out and do some private work. You don't have to be a maid here. Chow Fei asked her to leave with a cold face. Without waiting for Amy to speak, Chow Fei continued, Of course, my Chow family doesn't need a maidservant like you. Young Master Chow, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way. I don't feel wronged. I've always admired you. I just thought that you were so good to Lu Yen. Amy was at a loss for words, not knowing what to say. Let's go out. I'm a little tired. Young Master Chow. Amy, go to the venue and give this to my father. Suddenly, a document appeared in his hand. What is this? Don't lose the family's client list in Thailand. Give it to my father and don't let Chow Nan know about it. Oh, okay. I'll go to the venue now. All right, go ahead. Chow Fei waved his hand, and Amy left with the documents. Chow Fei sneered and sent a text message. Chow Fei's father and second brother, Chow Nan, had come to Thailand. This was a big gathering of Asian gangs. The Vietnamese gang, the Golden Triangle gang, the Taiwanese gang, the Hong Kong gang, the Macau gang, and some famous gang leaders from the mainland were all present. Chow Fei's father was the most influential gang leader in Asia. He was famous for selling firearms and was the center of attention at this gathering. Amy walked out of the hotel with the documents and called Chow Nan. Mr. Chow, he just gave me a document. It's the client list. He told me not to give it to you but to your father. Send it here. Chow Nan sneered. Chapter 3490. Okay, where are you now? I'm waiting for you at the entrance of an alley in Chinatown. I'll send someone to pick you up. Pay attention to your text messages. Okay. Be smart. Don't be unaware that someone is following you, Chow Nan said. I got it, Mr. Chow. Why did Amy rely on Chow Nan more and more? It was because she knew only Chow Nan had the antidote for the drug she gave Chow Fei. To please Chow Nan and keep Chow Fei safe, she betrayed Chow Fei and went to see Chow Nan with the documents he gave her. Chinatown was famous in Thailand. It was full of people from all walks of life. It was indeed a good place to meet people. Amy walked cautiously, afraid that someone would see her. After making sure no one was following her, she walked to the entrance of the alley. Before she could check her phone, she felt a pain in her neck and fainted. "Bitch, I finally caught you." Lu Yan's subordinates were displeased by Amy's betrayal. If Lu Yan hadn't stopped them, they would have chased her to Russia. They wouldn't have let this woman live so freely. Amy, who had fainted, was stuffed into a sack and taken away. In less than a minute, another AI, wearing the same clothes and looking exactly the same, walked to the entrance of the alley. She took out Amy's cell phone. It said, 100 meters ahead, there's a Min Nan restaurant. A man in a military green suit is sitting inside. Follow him. The password was, "Are you drunk?" After reading the message, the fake Amy followed the instructions and walked forward. Sure enough, about 100 meters ahead, she saw a small restaurant. The words on the plaque were clear, Min Nan Restaurant. Walking in, she saw a man in a green suit. He looked rustic and didn't look like one of Chow Nan's men. The fake Amy walked up and asked tentatively, "Are you drunk?" The man's hand that was holding the beer bottle paused for a moment. Then he raised his head and glanced at Amy. "Follow me." After that, the two of them made several turns and arrived at a small alley with very few people. "The boss is inside, you can go in." "Go in," the man said as he looked at the shabby house. Fake Amy nodded, then pushed open the door and walked in. The two men standing at the door were Chow Nan's bodyguards. They were tall and burly white Russians. When he walked in, Chow Nan was inside smoking. "The things in the golden triangle are so pure. This thing is really good. It's like a god." He had also just started smoking, and there was no one else in the room except for him. Chow Nan glanced at AI Me and asked, "Where's the stuff?" "Here it is." AI Me held up the folder in her hand. "Give it to me." "Mr. Joe, can you close the door first? I still have a secret to report." AI Me said, "You two close the door and guard the door." Obviously, he believed AI Me's words. After the door closed, AI Me slowly walked over. "What secret? Tell me." Chow Nan clearly didn't like AI Me either. "Why don't you look at the documents first?" With that, AI Me handed over the documents. Chow Nan reached out to take it without any hesitation, but the moment he reached out his hand, a dagger was pressed against Chow Nan's throat. "Bitch, how dare you threaten me?" Chow Nan was furious. "Dumbass, be polite to me." "You're Lu Yan?" Hearing the voice, Chow Nan realized who she was and turned pale with fright. Chapter 3491. The moment he said that, Lu Yan punched the back of Chow Nan's neck and knocked him out. Then Lu Yan dragged Chow Nan out. Before the two bodyguards could react, Lu Yan shot them. Lu Yan kept one of them alive. Dragging the unconscious Chow Nan out of the courtyard, Lu Yan got into the silver van her subordinates had come to pick them up. "Boss, nice job. You're fast." It took less than 3 minutes for Lu Yan to come out. She was really efficient. Chow Nan trusted Amy. "He didn't know I was the one pretending to be her." Lu Yan tore off the human skin mask. "See? I knew this bitch and that bastard Chow Nan were plotting something. I'm so pissed off. I can't let them go this time." Lu Yan just curled her lips. Her plan with Chow Fei was very successful. Chow Fei knew Amy wouldn't hand her over to his father. She would go to Chow Nan. Chow Nan had come to Thailand before them because there were many gangs here. So he was fearless and treated Bangkok as his home. Before the Central Asia Mafia Conference started, he came here to make money. He didn't expect Chow Fei and Lu Yan to set him up. Just like that, Lu Yan caught Amy and Chow Nan. "Boss, what should we do with them?" "Tie Chow Nan up. To prevent him from escaping, give him an injection and give him a sedative." "Okay, what about Amy?" "Her. Bring her to see me alone. She's my old subordinate. I need to catch up with her." "Okay, boss." Then, as instructed, Lu Yan tied Chow Nan up and placed him under guard in a basement. Amy was brought to the hotel where Lu Yan was staying. This was one of the most luxurious hotels in Bangkok. It had 66 floors. Lu Yan liked to stay on the top floor because she could see far from the top. She had a panoramic view of Bangkok. In front of the panoramic tempered glass, Lu Yen was wearing a white bathrobe with a glass of red wine in her hand. She had been on the plane the whole day and caught 2 people. She was also exhausted. After taking a bath, she felt much better. Then, the door opened and her subordinates walked in with Amy. She seemed to have just woken up and was still in a daze. Lu Yen put on the human skin mask and turned her back to Amy. "You!" Amy looked at his back and didn't dare to recognize him. Lu Yen turned around abruptly and was startled to see the face that looked exactly like hers. It's like you're looking at yourself in the mirror. But Amy knew that it wasn't a mirror. After all, they were all wearing different clothes. But Amy didn't believe that there were 2 people who looked exactly the same and weren't twins. After a moment of confusion and shock, Amy suddenly remembered. In the whole world, there was only one person who could use the human skin mask to perfection, and that was Lu Yen herself. After all, Amy had been with Lu Yen for years and knew Lu Yen's amazing skills, so it wasn't difficult for her to disguise herself as Lu Yen. Boss, it's you, right?" Amy stammered in fear. She wished she was wrong, because the last person she wanted to see was Lu Yen. "Very good. You still recognize me, Amy. We meet again." With a smile, Lu Yen tore off the human skin mask. At that moment, Amy felt a chill run down her spine. She knew if her boss appeared here again, she would be dead for sure. Chapter 3492. "Boss, is it really you?" Amy didn't know what to say. Who else could it be? "I just didn't expect to see you here." Amy forced herself to be calm. "Do you think you're here for a vacation with Xiao Fei?" Lu Yen smiled contemptuously. "Young Master Xiao and I, there's nothing between us. Young Master Xiao loves you. Boss, I've been looking for a chance to set you guys up." Amy knew that if she put in a good word for her, Lu Yen might forgive her out of pity. You're really stupid. How can you lie to me like that? Are you out of your mind?" "It's true, boss. I'm not lying to you. I swear. If I lie to you, my whole family will die." Amy raised her hand and swore. "But wasn't your entire family exterminated many years ago? You're the only one left. So, who are you swearing to?" Lu Yen sipped her red wine unhurriedly and looked at Amy as if she was a joke. Seeing that Lu Yen knew everything, Amy was terrified. She dropped to her knees. "Boss, I was wrong. I was really wrong." Kneeling again. "Your knees are cheap and worthless," Lu Yen said. "Boss, I know I was wrong. Please let me go, okay?" Afraid of death, Amy begged for mercy without a care for her dignity. "Then let me ask you, what did you do wrong? Did you betray your master or seduce your master's man? Or did you betray your current master by sleeping with Xiao Nan?" "What are you talking about? I don't understand." Hearing Xiao Nan's name, Amy continued to play dumb. "Don't play dumb. It's boring here. Amy, you've been with me for a few years now. If it wasn't for my employer's double insurance, you would have been killed by the target. Would you still be alive? Humans must have a conscience. When I saved you, I didn't expect you to repay me with anything. You insisted on following me and becoming my maidservant. Outsiders who don't know will think that you really know how to repay kindness. But is that really the case?" Amy bit her lip, not daring to speak. "You're just hiding under my wings because you've made too many enemies outside. I've never mistreated you in the past few years. I've also transferred all the missions you've carried out into your account. I won't let you complete the dangerous missions alone. I'll give you an assistant. Over the past few years, you should at least have 200 million yuan, right?" "Boss, Shut up and listen to me." Lu Yen glanced at her face coldly. "All right, go ahead, boss. You've been eating and drinking in my place. You even instigated 2 members to leave. Of course, I don't blame you. Even if you didn't do that, they wouldn't have stayed for long. You took my money and were protected by our organization. Now you're trying to steal my man and collude with that bastard Xiao Nan to betray your master. You're such a disloyal and ungrateful person. If you lived in the ancient times, wouldn't you be hacked into pieces?" "Yes, boss. I was blinded by greed. Now I've thought it through. No matter what I do, young Master Chow won't like me. As for Chow Nen, he threatened me. Really? Should I bring Chow Nen up here to confront you? Huh? Hearing Lu Yan's words, Amy was dumbfounded. Did it mean Chow Nan was also captured by Lu Yan? Chapter 3493. Amy suddenly understood that Lu Yan wouldn't disguise herself as her for no reason. She must have used her appearance to trick Chow Nan. At this thought, Amy's face turned pale with fright. Boss, Chow Nan is a despicable person. You can't just listen to him. I've been with young Master Chow for a long time and I've served him with all my heart. Really? Then I'll call Chow Fei in and ask him. Then, Lu Yan pressed a button, and the people outside opened the door immediately. Chow Fei was resting in the room next door. Seeing Chow Fei enter, Amy immediately ran up to him. Young Master Chow, help me, help me, help me, beg boss for mercy. She'll only listen to you. Amy wept. Chow Fei kicked Amy's hand away in disdain. He looked up at Lu Yan. See? Even an outsider can tell you don't like me, but you don't want to admit it. Damn it. You're here to verify my statement, not to force me to confess my love. Get to the point. Lu Yan was exasperated. Chow Fei walked over slowly and sat down on the sofa beside Lu Yan. You said you're loyal to me. Then why did Chow Nan ask you to drug me? Amy's body shook. Sure enough, they knew everything. They even knew about the medicine. Chow Nan forced me to do it. He said if I didn't do it, he'd have other ways to deal with you. Young Master Chow, I was worried about your safety. So, at this point, AI Me did not dare to continue. So you drugged my coffee. Do you know what the drug does? Chow Fei continued to ask. Chow Nan said it's only temporary and you won't be in any danger, Amy said confidently. Whoa, you believe Chow Nan? You've been with Lu Yan for years, but you're still so stupid. I'm impressed. Chow Fei took out a packet of powder and tossed it on the floor. Chow Nan gave you this, right? Yes, that's it. Amy nodded, not daring to lie. Do you know the consequences of taking this drug? Chow Fei asked her. Amy shook her head. This medicine will cause abdominal pain at first, then it will become excruciating pain. After 3 months, it will begin to fester and the intestines will rot. No, impossible. Aimi looked at him in shock. But the good thing is I never took the drug. The cup of coffee you drugged ended up in your stomach. Chow Fei said it casually, but Aimi was completely dumbfounded. He went from kneeling to sitting on the ground. Can't be, how could it be? Chow Nan has always wanted me dead. You just happened to be used by him. So, don't keep saying that you're good to me. After all, everything you've done is harmful to me. I'm not. How could this be? After Aimi learned the truth, she was completely dumbfounded. He seemed to have no time to digest the fact that he had drunk the poisoned coffee. Lu Yan took out a pistol and tossed it to Amy. I'll give you one last chance. If you commit suicide, the grudge between us will be resolved. Boss, no. I don't want to die. But you've been poisoned for more than a month. Soon your intestines will rot, and you'll die, Lu Yan said calmly. I'm sure I can be saved. Boss, isn't your father a medical genius? Ask him to make the antidote for me, okay? Amy ran to Lu Yan on her knees and kowtowed, begging for her life. Amy, I don't want to repeat myself. Pick up the pistol and shoot yourself, and the grudge between us will be resolved. Lu Yan put down the wine glass and looked down at the woman at her feet. Chapter 3494. Boss, I don't want to die. Please let me go. Amy kept kowtowing, but Lu Yan didn't move. Chow Fei looked at her without any sympathy. Aimi's forehead was bleeding from all the kowtowing, but Lu Yan still didn't let her go. Finally, she stopped struggling and looked at the gun Lu Yan threw at her. She slowly picked it up, then she aimed it at her head. She closed her eyes, then she pulled the trigger. But the moment she pulled the trigger, The gun was pointed at Lu Yen. She wanted to die with Lu Yen. Even if she couldn't be with Xiao Fei, she didn't want Lu Yen to be with him. This was a twisted woman who had gone to extremes. But strangely, the gun didn't go off. Amy didn't expect this at all. It's strange, isn't it? I didn't put any bullets in the gun. I wanted to give you a quick death since we were once master and servant. But you wanted to die, Lu Yen said. Lu Yen, don't say such nice words. You're just jealous, right? You're afraid that I'll take your man away. You're not confident, so you want to kill me? Amy knew she wouldn't recover, so she didn't say nice words. Instead, she put on a different face. Perhaps this was her truest side. Afraid that you'll be jealous? You really think highly of yourself. Why don't you look at yourself in the mirror? Are you so stupid that your brain was eaten by a crab? Don't tell me you used to be my subordinate. I don't have such a stupid subordinate. Cut the crap. Since I'm in your hands, just shoot me. But let me remind you, even if you kill me, you'll still have a lot of trouble. Do you think Xiao Nan is the only one who wants to deal with you? Amy smiled viciously. Well, it sounds like you know a lot of insider information. Yeah, but even if I did, I wouldn't tell you. Do I need your insider information? You're funny. Lu Yen was amused. Okay, let's stop the useless conversation. Yen, it's time for the next step. Xiao Fei glanced at his watch and reminded her. I know, Lu Yen replied nonchalantly. Amy was so scared that she immediately closed her eyes. She knew Lu Yen had always been cruel to her enemies. Therefore, he thought that he might be beaten up. Fine, you chose this path. So be it. We won't see each other again, Lu Yen said. If you want to kill me, hurry up and do it. Amy was a little impatient, but her heart was filled with endless fear. I don't need to do it myself to kill you. Don't flatter yourself. I don't want to take out the trash myself. Lu Yen waved her hand. His men came in and immediately dragged Amy away. Where are you taking me? Amy struggled with all her might, but she couldn't muster any strength. Those who betray boss should be hacked into pieces and sent to hell. You little bitch, you've reached the end of your life. Don't be so evil in your next life. Then, Lu Yan's subordinates covered her head with a sack and carried her away. Amy thought she was going to be thrown into the sea to feed the fish. After Amy left, the room suddenly became quiet. In the future, I really shouldn't have any more female subordinates. They'll be jealous of me. After all, I'm as pretty as a flower. Lu Yen reached out and touched her face narcissistically. In the future, when I'm with you, you don't need to have a personal maid. Then, Xiao Fei gently hugged Lu Yen from behind and placed his hands on her waist. What do you want? Chapter 34:95. Yes. Xiao Fei said only one word. Lu Yen reacted instantly and stepped on Xiao Fei's foot. Fortunately, Xiao Fei reacted quickly and dodged. Otherwise, he would have suffered a lot from this kick. Look, which woman is as violent as you? But don't you like violent women? You don't want cheap women, right? Otherwise, why don't you sleep with Amy? Sleep with her? I'm not that desperate. Xiao Fei's lips curled up. Don't they say men think with their lower bodies? Do you think I'll believe you? You must have had a lot of fun in Russia, right? Do you have a new Russian chick with big boobs and a big butt every night? Lu Yen teased him. Give me back the bulletproof vest, you ungrateful wretch. Ha ha ha, you're asking for back something you've given away? You're a jerk. Lu Yen laughed at him. Aren't you a jerk? You bully your fiancé all day long with a smile. Who says you're my fiancé? Do you believe that I can replace you at any time? Lu Yen turned her head provocatively and stared at Xiao Fei. If you say that, then I won't let you off today. Then, Xiao Fei pushed Lu Yen onto the big, soft bed in the suite. Before Lu Yen could react, he pressed himself on her. Fuck, you shameless bastard. Do you want to force yourself on me? Lu Yen began to curse. No, I want to make it happen. In your dreams. Do you believe that I'll beat you until your teeth fall out? Lu Yen waved her fists. Go ahead. Even if you beat me to death, I'll do what I have to do today. Xiao Fei missed Lu Yen very much. So, when they were alone in a private space, it was like Mars colliding with Earth. Psycho Xiao, do you want to be beaten up? They were about to have a close combat fight. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Then, they both stopped what they were doing at the same time. Boss, young Master Xiao should go. The arrangements are almost done. Did you hear me? I'm calling you. Xiao Fei looked reluctant. Be good, Fei Fei. Don't disgust me. She wasn't used to hearing Lu Yen call her Fei Fei. All right, let's put on the show for the last time. Okay? After all, we've been acting for so long. We can't let it go to waste. Lu Yen coaxed Xiao Fei. Then you have to give me some benefits. Xiao Fei threatened. Okay. Whack. Lu Yen kissed him on the cheek without hesitation. This won't do. It's not enough. At this moment, Xiao Fei was acting like a spoiled child in front of Lu Yen. Then I'll kiss you, okay? Then, Lu Yen moved closer and put her arms around Xiao Fei's neck. He closed his eyes and gently kissed her. She didn't expect that when she was so engrossed in it, Xiao Fei would make an extremely obscene move. While Lu Yen was distracted, he reached out and touched her little bunny. Lu Yan's face darkened. Then, before Lu Yen could react, Xiao Fei ran away. Damn it! How dare you take advantage of me? Psycho Xiao, just you wait. For the first time in her life, Lu Yen was taken advantage of so easily. It was because she didn't have any defense against Xiao Fei. On the other side, Amy was given an injection and was thrown into a chaotic street by Lu Yan's subordinates. In less than a minute, she was caught. The bitch is here. Catch her. Chapter 3496. In a private club, AI Mi was taken into a Thai-style house. The moment she walked in, she saw Xiao Fei's father sitting there with a dark expression. Mr. Xiao. Where's my son, Xiao Nan? Mr. Xiao Nan? He's with Lu Yen. I'm telling you, Lu Yen came to Thailand. She's a bad woman. She kidnapped Mr. Xiao Nan. You'd better go save him. Otherwise, he'll be in danger. Lu Yen doesn't like Mr. Xiao Nan. I keep lying. Mr. Xiao, I'm not lying. It's true. Bring Xiao Nan's bodyguard here. Xiao Fei's father looked at his subordinates. Yes, sir. Xiao Nan's bodyguard, a Russian man who had just had surgery for his gunshot wound, was excited when he saw Amy. Sir. She took Master away. Sir. The Russian bodyguard yelled in Russian. The bodyguard said it was her. What else do you have to say? It's not the truth. It's Lu Yen. She disguised herself as me and did all this. Don't be fooled by her. Amy tried to explain. Do you think it's a martial arts movie? Disguise? You're a vicious woman. As Xiao Fei's maid, you didn't take good care of her and even tried to kidnap my other sons. No. You've misunderstood. Amy explained in tears. Cut the crap. Tell me, where is Anan? He's really with Lu Yen. Go and find her. You're still so stubborn. Take her away and force her to confess. Don't kill her. Watch her carefully. Yes, sir. Hearing Xiao Fei's father's order, Amy fell into despair. She regretted not picking up the gun Lu Yen gave her and killing herself. Right now, he was in a state where he could neither live nor die. No one believed her when she told the truth. Lu Yan's disguise skills were superb. Xiao Fei's father hadn't seen it with his own eyes and didn't believe her. Now Amy understood why Lu Yen didn't throw her into the sea to feed the fish. Instead, he directly threw her on the streets so that the Qiao family could catch her. Qiao Nan's disappearance was a big deal. Qiao Nan was in charge of many of the Qiao family's businesses now. Many of the new customers were Qiao Nan's friends, so the old patriarch had to use his son to introduce them. But now that the party had arrived, Qiao Nan was nowhere to be found. Later, Qiao Nan's bodyguard escaped and told her that he was attacked by Xiao Fei's bodyguard. Walking out of the house, Xiao Fei's father felt his chest tighten. Where's Fei? Third young master has been resting in the hotel. Tell him to come see me. All right. 15 minutes later, Xiao Fei's car slowly entered the club. Xiao Fei seemed to have expected that he would be summoned by his father. Father. Your maidservant kidnapped your second brother? Did you know that? When? It happened not long ago. Father, you can't be suspecting me, right? If it were me, I wouldn't be so stupid as to use my maid. Of course I know it has nothing to do with you, but who is this woman working for now? Is she one of Lu Yan's spies? Qiao Fei's father seemed to be very prejudiced against Lu Yan. What does it have to do with Yan? Qiao Fei obviously wanted to protect her. Where's the file I asked for? I asked Amy to send it to you. What? You didn't get it? Qiao Fei asked deliberately. What? You asked Amy to send it to me? Qiao Fei's father was surprised. Yeah, I gave it to her. Nonsense. Qiao Fei's father was even angrier when he heard this. He didn't expect this woman to cause such trouble. In a basement, a cup of cold water woke Qiao Nan up. What he saw was an extremely exquisite face. Wake up, the honorable second young master Qiao. Lu Yan's sweet smile made Qiao Nan shiver. Chapter 34:97. Are you surprised? Lu Yan looked at Qiao Nan with a smile. Lu Yan, you're getting prettier and prettier. Qiao Nan forced a smile, but it was uglier than crying. Don't think I'll let you go just because you flatter me. Of course I don't. But even if you lock me up, what can you do? You don't dare to kill me. Qiao Nan smiled smugly. Why can't I kill you? Lu Yan had a green bristlecone in her mouth and her eyes were smiling. Because you want to be with my brother, Qiao Fei, so you can't kill me. If my father finds out, you'll never be with Qiao Fei unless you're just playing with him. What kind of bullshit logic is that? Oh, now that I've caught you, you're scared and now you say you're Qiao Fei's brother? What about everything you did to him before? What about it? What about the drug you instigated Amy to put in his coffee? You always say he's not a good brother. But are you a good brother? Why do you think you're the only bitch in the world? Does your father know you're such a bastard? Lu Yan rarely scolded people so many times, but the scumbag Qiao Nan really pissed her off this time. Since you know about the drug, you should treat me well. Otherwise, Qiao Fei's intestines will rot if you don't get the antidote. You idiot! Don't you know Qiao Fei didn't take the drug? What? He didn't take it? Qiao Nan was shocked. Do you think he's as stupid as you are? Let me tell you, Amy took the drug. Qiao Nan didn't know what was going on. He didn't know if Amy did it on purpose. You think you're smart, but you don't know it's all under our control. Now I know why Qiao Fei likes you. Qiao Nan sneered. Lu Yan didn't speak. She just looked at him. That scheming little brother of mine. On the surface, he doesn't seem to be interested in anything. He doesn't even take care of the family business. But in fact, he has already planned all of this in his heart. With such a capable wife like you, anyone who marries you will be a capable assistant. If you think that he truly loves you, then you are too naive. The only person he loves is himself. The moment Qiao Nan finished his words, Lu Yan slapped him hard. You're still trying to drive a wedge between us? I won't let you say one bad word about Qiao Fei. You can't understand him. You're corrupted by power and money, power and money. You. Do you think you can sit back and relax by locking me up like this? Bangkok is only so big. Someone will come and save me. Qiao Nan seemed quite confident. Really? Then let's wait and see who can save him from my hands. But you caught me for another reason, right? Qiao Nan turned his head. Lu Yan wouldn't catch him for no reason. If she wanted to kill him, she wouldn't have waited until now. At least your pig brain is still a little smart. Lin Fan sneered. Lu Yan stood up nonchalantly. Qiao Nan looked at the woman in front of him. She was a woman who scared many gangs. I want to know who you're working with. Who can't wait to catch me other than Ian? You know? Qiao Nan was surprised. What do you think? Lu Yan smiled coldly. Chapter 34:98. On the other hand, the twins woke up in the morning and didn't see Lu Yan at breakfast. Then, Little Bean got up and was about to go upstairs. Little Bean, where are you going? Huamin stopped her. I'm going to wake Auntie up for breakfast. If she's not busy today, I want her to take me and my sister skating and eating ice cream. It's okay, Little Bean. Your auntie left. Huamin was really disappointed when he said this. Left? Where did she go? Little Bean was confused. She left here. Then, when will she come back? She didn't say. Your auntie has her own things to do, Huamin explained patiently. Pudding was eating a sandwich when she heard that her auntie had left. She immediately lost her mood and put down the food in her hand with a sad face. 3 seconds later, Little Bean burst into tears. Then, she ran upstairs while crying. I don't believe it. Mommy and Auntie must have colluded to lie to me and my sister. I don't believe it. I'm gonna find Auntie. Little Bean. Huamin got up. Chin Chu immediately pressed down on her shoulder. You're pregnant. It's not convenient for you to walk upstairs and downstairs. I'll go see her. Then, Chin Chu turned around and followed Little Bean upstairs. Little Bean ran to the door of Lu Yan's room. She pushed the door open and shouted, Auntie, you lazy bug. It's time to get up. However, she found that there was no one inside. The bed was extremely clean, as if no one had lived there before. She looked around and found Lu Yan's belongings were all gone. Little Bean felt sad and cried even harder. Auntie, where are you? Don't hide. I don't like playing hide and seek so early in the morning. Come out, or I'll cry in front of you. At this moment, Chin Chu had already come up behind Little Bean. He squatted down and picked her up. He gently wiped her tears. Little Bean, Auntie is home. Auntie came to our house just to visit. She won't stay here forever. You have to accept this fact. I know, but if she's leaving, shouldn't she say goodbye? Little Bean felt that her auntie's departure was very sudden and unexpected. He couldn't accept it. Auntie had something urgent to deal with. Something happened to her business overseas, so she had to leave last night. You and Pudding were sleeping at that time. In order not to disturb your rest, Auntie didn't say goodbye to you, but she told us to pass the message to you. Really? Little Bean asked skeptically. Really? Okay then. I believe in Daddy's words. Little Bean calmed down after hearing her daddy's words. You're not allowed to cry. If you cry, sister will be sad. And then mommy will be sad too. Mommy is pregnant with your brother. If you cry like this, everyone will be sad. Our family will suffer a great loss. Comrade Old Chin, now that you mention it, I suddenly feel like I'm very important in this family. Little Bean said seriously with her big eyes. Your status in our family is very important. What about my sister? Both of you are equally heavy. What about after your brother is born? You and my sister are still the most important, Chin Chu promised. Hearing Daddy's words, Little Bean felt much better. She wrapped her arms around Chin Chu's neck and began to act like a spoiled child. Daddy, can I not go to school today? I know all the things the teacher taught. It's a waste of time to go. Then what do you want to do? Play at home? Chin Chu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. No, I want to go to Auntie Lingling's shop and play with Buyuan. Buyuan has been sick recently, so Auntie Lingling didn't send him to school. Okay. Daddy promises you. Comrade Old Chin, you're so nice. I love you very much. Thank you, Comrade Little Chin. The father and daughter joked and joked as they walked downstairs. After dinner, Huamin went to the hospital. Chin Chu sent the 2 children to Zhu Lingling's shop and arranged for bodyguards to watch over them. Before Huamin arrived at Southside to watch the meeting, he ran into an acquaintance, Shun Mingxi. Huamin, can I talk to you? Shun Mingxi looked a little pale. It seemed that something had happened. Chapter 34-99. Okay. Come in. A long time ago, Huamin had little contact with Shun Mingxi because of Hua Yanyan. Not only her, but also Su Yu, Tang Chuan, and Wei Liao. Shun Mingxi, once one of the famous 4 princes of Sea City, had been isolated by the other 3. Even though their relationship had eased a lot, they were not as close as they used to be. Of course, Su Yu still had feelings for him, but Shun Mingxi was in a bad mood and didn't want to hang out with Su Yu. Secondly, Wei Liao didn't like him. After entering Hua Min's office, Hua Min poured him a glass of water and changed into his white coat. Hua Min sat on the office chair while Shen Mingxi sat on the sofa. Young Master Shen, I have a meeting later. We've known each other for so long. Just say what you want to say. Okay, I don't want to take up too much of Dr. Hua's time, so I'll just say it. Hu Yanyan, she wants to see you. See me? Hua Min seemed surprised. Yes, she's not in good spirits there. Hasn't she always been like that? Doesn't a mental patient have to stay in a mental hospital? Hua Min thought it was reasonable. No, I'm talking about her diet. Although she used to have a bad temper and often scolded people and threw things, at least she could still eat. In the past half a month, she hasn't been eating much. She doesn't even drink water and doesn't sleep. She's lost a lot of weight. The treatment center wants her family to go over and have a talk with her. You know, she doesn't have any family now. They called me and I went over last night. It's rare that she didn't scold me, curse me, or ask about Tian. She just said a few words to me calmly. Before I left, she suddenly told me that she wanted to see you. Oh, I see. Hua Min fell into deep thought after hearing what Lin Fan said. Of course, my request is a bit presumptuous. I'm just passing on her message. She has done so many heinous things, and it's not enough for you to forgive her. If you don't want to go, it's fine. I'm just here to tell her. I understand, young Master Shin. I know how you feel. All right then. I won't disturb you any further. All right. After briefly explaining the purpose of his visit, Shen Mingxi stood up and left. Hua Min's mind was in a mess. Hua Yanyan's existence was like Hua Xiqian's. His actions were unforgivable, but he couldn't kill him with his own hands. Therefore, they could only leave them in one place and no one cared about them. Gradually, they would withdraw from their circle of life. Hua Min had thought that Hua Yanyan would spend the rest of her life in that mental hospital. Qin Chu and Gao Ran had said more than once that they wouldn't let Hua Yanyan out because it was too dangerous. Shen Mingxi was the only one who visited Hua Yanyan. Later on, in order to get back together with Wei Ying, Shen Mingxi rarely visited Hua Yanyan. But he would send people to deliver money, food, clothes, and necessities to her. After all, they had been together once, and Shen Mingxi hadn't completely abandoned her. In this regard, Shen Mingxi had done a good job. He had done everything he could. Hua Min went to the morning meeting with mixed feelings. When he came back from the meeting, he saw Lady Su coming to work. Hua Min. Lady Su was especially affectionate whenever she saw Hua Min. Mrs. Su. Hua Min smiled. Come, look at this girl. What do you think? Lady Su took out a photo from her pocket. The girl in the photo had big eyes and an oval face. She was very beautiful and young. She's really good. This is Chapter 3500. Seeing Hua Min's question, Lady Su immediately explained. A distant relative recommended her to me. She said she's her sister's daughter from the capital city dance academy. Look at her figure and face. She's beautiful. Hua Min praised her sincerely. Do you think you will like her? I don't know. Seeing that Hua Min was recommending her to Su Yu, Hua Min didn't dare to give a direct answer. After Zhang Ro left, you began to live as a bachelor again. That won't do. I told my relative that this girl just graduated this summer and hasn't found a job yet. I plan to send her to Yu's company as a trainee. You want to enter the entertainment industry? Hua Min was surprised. Lord Su had said that he wouldn't find a granddaughter-in-law in the entertainment industry. No, I just want to get close to you. Being an actress is just a cover. I don't plan to debut or take any commercial performances. Oh, in that case, it's not a bad idea. Hua Min nodded, thinking it was a good idea. Mian, you're smart. Think of a plan for Auntie to tell you. You know Yu's temper. He always talks about this and doesn't communicate with us properly. He won't agree if I tell him my intention. So, how am I going to send this girl in? Send her to Imperial Star? MHM. Lady Su nodded. Why don't you let the girl apply for the job herself? After all, their company hires actors all year round. No. It's too difficult for her to apply. She might fail. Then, why don't you talk to the HR department and give them the green light? Give them the green light? Hwamian asked. I can't do that either. In order to prevent those people from bending the law and using their connections to get in, you has already changed the HR department to an impartial female director. She's very capable and won't give me face. If she reports this to you, all my efforts will be in vain. You're right. Then what should we do? Hwamin couldn't think of a good idea. Mian, I have a request. Please speak, Auntie. How about this? I heard that you have a younger sister who came back from abroad, and N and you were the ones who took care of her. As long as it's about you, you is very happy to do it. So, can you tell you that this girl is a distant relative of yours and ask him to make an exception and let her in through the back door? I don't think that's a good idea. If Suyu finds out. Hwamin didn't think it was a good idea to lie. It's okay. If he finds out, I'll take responsibility. Lady Su patted her chest and promised. Hwamin suddenly understood that Lady Su wanted to make use of Suyu's feelings for her to arrange a place for this girl that was prepared for Suyu. Although it was a little uncomfortable, Hwamin didn't want to lie to his friends. However, he could never refuse Aunt Su's requests. Firstly, she owed Suyu a great deal and saved her life. Secondly, if Hwamin refused, Aunt Su would misunderstand that he had selfish motives and didn't want Suyu to find a girlfriend. Many girls nowadays had that mentality. When they had a boyfriend and other boys liked them, they wouldn't directly reject them. Instead, they would keep them hanging. Every time a boy wanted to give up, they would give him a little hope. This kind of person was known as a scumbag. Hwamin didn't want to be misunderstood by Aunt Su as a scumbag. She also sincerely hoped that Suyu would have a partner. She didn't want him to be so pitiful when he was old. Therefore, although he felt that it was inappropriate, Hwamin still nodded. Okay, Auntie, I agree. That's great, Mian. I knew you were a good girl. Lady Su was extremely happy. Then, she stuffed the girl's information into Hwamin's arms. Familiarize yourself with her information. I'll ask her to come to you in the afternoon. After work, take her to dinner with you and get to know him. So fast. Hwamin didn't expect this speed. Chapter 3501. Yeah, she's already at the airport. I sent a driver to pick her up. Okay, Auntie. We'll do as you say. Great. Thank you so much, Mian. Lady Su held Hwamin's hand tightly, feeling indescribable excitement. Lady Su was more and more eager for her son to get married. In fact, it was also because Suyu's childhood friends were all married and had children. His best friend was Wei Liao. Wei Yunchu was already so old. Tang Chuan, the prodigal son, had proposed successfully and was about to hold a big wedding. At Lady Su's age, it was impossible for her to have a grandson. So, even though she was smart and knew it was unfair to Hwamin, she still did it. After returning to his office, Hwamin was busy for a while. When he was free, he thought about Shin Mingxi's words. If Hu Yanyan continued like this, she wouldn't be able to live much longer. Did she want to end her life by going on a hunger strike? At this thought, it was quite sad. Hwamin touched his bulging belly. He truly felt that he was living a peaceful and happy life. Compared to so many unfortunate people, he was living in a blessed life. Just then, Chin Chu video called her. She quickly pressed the answer button. Honey, are you busy? No. What are you thinking about? Spacing out. I don't believe you. It's true. I'm thinking too much, so I'm spacing out for a while. Have you eaten anything? It's not noon yet. How can I eat? Hwamin was amused. Didn't we agree that you'll have an extra meal in the morning starting today? Drink some milk and eat some bread to fill your stomach. Otherwise, what if you're hungry? You're worried that your son will be hungry, right? Do you think I'm such a patriarchal person? I'm worried that you won't be able to handle it. Chin Chu always knew that his wife was a workaholic. When she was busy, she would often forget to eat and sleep. I know, Mr. Chin. Yes. Then eat it now. I didn't prepare any food in the office. It's fine. I've already sent someone to deliver it. It should be arriving soon. Just as Qin Chu finished speaking, someone knocked on the door. Come in. Huamin shouted at the door as he video chatted with Qin Chu. Dr. Hua, President Qin asked me to order this for you. Just put it on the table, thank you. All right. The man put down a big bag and left. Oh my God. There's so much. How is this a cushion? I feel like you bought me food for 3 days. Huamin put down his phone and rummaged through the plastic bag. She found that there were freshly made hot cakes, osmanthus cakes, exquisite moon cakes, flower tea, fruit tea, hot milk, and chocolate wafers. Little Bean will go crazy if she sees these things, Huamin said with a smile. So, to prevent your daughter from going crazy, don't take them home. Just put them in the office. I can't finish them. I can eat little by little every day. No, this is for 1 day. You have to finish them today. You can't eat them after the deadline. Do you think I'm a pig? Huamin didn't know whether to laugh or cry. You can take them out and share them with the people in your department. Qin Chu smiled gently. Will they be jealous of me for having such a good husband? No. Who dares to be jealous of the deputy director's husband? Wouldn't that be suicide? Qin Chu teased her. Honey, by the way, I have something to discuss with you. What is it? Huiyanyan. She wants to see me. Hearing Huiyanyan's name, Qin Chu's expression changed and he slowly stopped smiling. Chapter 3502. Who brought the news? Qin Chu didn't think that Gao Ran would tell Huamin about Huiyanyan of his own accord. After all, everyone knew what kind of person Huiyanyan was. Young Master Shin came this afternoon. Hasn't that man had enough of being taken advantage of? Is he still trying to be kind? Qin Chu's tone was sarcastic. Obviously, he wasn't happy that Shin Mingshi went directly to Huamin and told him about Huiyanyan. Maybe he didn't have a choice. Plus, young Master Shin was just the messenger. Huiyanyan wants to see me. What about you, Mian? What do you think? Qin Chu asked. I don't know, so I came to ask my dear husband, Huamin said coquettishly. Huiyanyan must be in a bad situation right now. She's in a difficult situation. Maybe she's dying? Qin Chu asked tentatively. Yeah, that's it. How did you know? Honey, you're amazing. Huamin was surprised that Qin Chu guessed so accurately. I can guess it with my eyes closed. She suddenly wants to see you. I'm sure she's putting on a show to win the sympathy of a pregnant woman like you. Young Master Shun said that the clinic sent news that Huiyanyan hasn't been eating or drinking much. Young Master Shin went to check on her and didn't think she was doing well. Before he left, Huiyanyan suddenly asked to see me. So, Huiyanyan is a woman who knows how to find a weakness. You're a doctor and have compassion. Now that you're pregnant, you have the aura of a mother. Mian, you want to go, don't you? Yeah, a little. But Huiyanyan is playing tricks on me. So I want to know what you think. It's not impossible to go. Hubby, you agree? Huamin was pleasantly surprised. I agree. Wait for me at the hospital. I'll pick you up after work. I'll go with you. All right? It's settled then. Yes. Huamian hung up the phone happily. Mr. Qin always put himself in her shoes and thought for her. Huamin was also afraid that Huiyanyan would play some tricks, so he didn't dare to go alone. After all, she was a mental patient. It was not impossible for her to do something extreme. After experiencing the tricks of Zhao Qingya, Jian Tong, and Song Yisher, Huamin became more and more cautious. Especially, he was not willing to deal with unfamiliar women, because she realized that women were much scarier than men. Seeing that her husband had agreed to meet Huiyanyan personally, Huamin felt relieved. Then, he lowered his head and continued to work. When a knocked on the door and came in, Huamin thought it was his assistant, Chen Jia. Jia, I won't be going to the cafeteria today. My husband brought a lot of food. Take some and share it with everyone. Huamin didn't even raise his head when he said this. President Hua, it's me. Hearing the voice, Huamin slowly raised his head and saw En in a navy blue suit. And why are you here? Huamin thought that since En was here, so you was probably here as well. I have a personal favor to ask of you. So you didn't come? No, it's my own personal business. And lowered his head shyly, as if he didn't know what to say. Do you want to borrow money? Seeing In's embarrassment, Huamin thought he was short of money and was too embarrassed to ask Suyu. When Huamin replaced Qin Chu to work at GK after giving birth to the twins, Suyu was there to protect her, and had been with Huamin for 3 years, so the relationship between them was like master and servant. No, I don't want to borrow money. Then, President Hua, I want you to send these things to Lu Yen for me, and picked up a cardboard box and placed it on Hua Min's desk. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.